Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, good people of the internet. No Cooldown's back, baby. No Cooldown is back in the building. Episode 91. Thank you so much for tuning in from all corners of the globe, wherever you may be at, whether you're on top of the world, under a rock. We appreciate you for locking in with us. Again, you can find us everywhere. No Cooldown Pod at No Cooldown on YouTube. No Cooldown Podcast on all audio podcast platforms that you can think of. We'll be right there to search our name. Where were we at? No Cooldown Pod on Twitter, No Cooldown Podcast on TikTok. Again, the duplicate has been eradicated from existence. It is no longer here, so you can support our channels without fear that you may be supporting a clone or a backup, because we don't got none of those right now. So we're here. The gang is all here. Listen, when he's in the building with us, when my podcast partner in crime, welcome back. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. Can't complain.
I hear it, man. It's been it hasn't been like the fastest week, but there's been a couple of tidbits here and there, a couple juicy stories. And listen, we're fast tracking towards the summer, man. We're fast tracking towards the summer. There's gonna be a lot of shit that's going down, so I'm excited about the steady ramp up that we getting with this. And I forgot April got so many damn games in it, man. I don't know, just looking at the slate, there was like a bunch of stuff. I mean, there was this fucking Stellar Blades, and there's a whole bunch of things all out there, but I don't know, my wallet cannot take all this. It's a Game Pass, save me, all right?
please
Honestly. But again, there is still a good amount of news to cover this week and get through, so we should get to these main stories first, and we'll break everything else down from there. Wheneth, are you ready, sir?
Born ready.
Let's get to it, man. Let's start off at the backbone of gaming, the backbone of our industry, what we do, what we love, indie games. And a huge indie showcase that dropped. The Triple I Initiative had a whole, I guess, inaugural format and inaugural, I guess, just direct, in many cases, showed off a whole bunch of games. I feel like there was like 25 to 30 games plus shown off at this event. It was a huge collaboration between several developers, studios, publishers. Gearbox was involved. It was a lot of stuff and a lot of moving parts, but we want to talk about kind of just the initiative itself, the games, and at a macro level, let's talk about the kind of impact of something like this and how well this kind of ran. So just your general thoughts on the overall stuff first. When
I love indie showcases more than I think AAA showcases at this point. I genuinely cannot get enough of these, because they are like, I'm looking at it now, and like not looking at it now, like I'm looking at it now, it starts at 16 minutes and then everything after that is just straight information, but it's not like overblown, drawn out conversations. It's like, oh, here's a trailer, here's an update, here's what we're working on right now, here's what's something you should wish list, here's something that you should see. Like it's 45 minutes of just straight bangers. And honestly, it's something that is really refreshing, because sometimes you'll get the AAA stuff, and don't get me wrong, I love Summer Game Fest, formerly known as E3. I love that time, but at no point in time should I be watching a Call of Duty like snippet and then they're like, let's bring out the voice actors to talk about these kinds of things. Like, I should not, it's already too much time being wasted. Attention spans are very, very short these days, and honestly, unless you're showcasing something that's very, very game changing, like if you were to walk on stage and explain to me the Nemesis system for the first time, then I'm like, whoa, this is a really good use of time. But if all you're gonna do is sit there and tell me how badass the character is or how cool shit is, let me experience it myself. Show me the trailer. Let's keep it pushing. We don't have a lot. We don't need to draw this out any longer than it needs to be. But this showcase is amazing. I love it because it showcases games that I would have never even heard about, like something like Dino Lords. At no point was I like, yo, RuneScape with dinosaurs is what I really want to play. But it's like, that's a sick game. I never would have seen that before unless I watched something like this. And it didn't take up too much of my time. I knew exactly what I wanted to see. Showed it to me, and then we went on to the next thing, and then it showed me a bunch of updates on like early access games, and some of them which I've purchased, like Raven's Watch. I'm a huge fan of the game. I deleted it just because I don't want to play it until the game is fully out, because I already sunk too much time into it. I'm like, damn, I can't even get to the next chapter. Like, I want more. So a bunch of really, really good games. Risk of Rain 2, literally one of my top 10 games of all time. seeing more information about that. I really would have loved a release date on the expansion, but I'm gonna be patient. I'll be patient because you could play that game. I could still play that game till the expansion. There's so much in it. But honestly, all in all, this showcase was really, really well done. I'm happy to have more of these. I don't want to have too many though. We don't want a saturation of the market. I don't want to have like 4 indie showcases and all of them are like the same games shown again. I like the amount we have. I think there's maybe like that I'm aware of. There's like maybe 2 or 3 a year because I know there's this and then there's the Latinx gaming showcase. Not Latinx gaming, but like the games of Latin America showcase, which is similar to this.
Yeah.
But the triple I's, honestly, really, really, really dope showcase.
Yeah, I really did enjoy this showcase, and the funny thing is, I tried to catch it live. Like literally, I was like at the end of I was in the gym. I was at the end of working out. I was doing this on the treadmill while I was just like again jogging and shit. And I was like, all right, maybe, you know what I'm saying, hopefully it won't be too long. Once they started, again, it was just like 30 minutes straight, like trailer, bang. There was like a little break in between, but it was just information, trailer. So in essence, in its format, in its bare concept of how it was delivered, it was very good. It's exactly what I want to see from these types of showcase, any type of showcase. Show me the games, show me the footage, show me what you have to get me excited, interested, or any other positive feeling, and then keep pushing to the next. Like it was very good. The variety across the games that they were showing too was very, very nice, good to see. And I think that in this time especially, it's important for, you know, for indie games to really get as much platforming as possible in terms of just the collaboration across. Again, it was like a bunch of studios involved. It was like Gearbox. It was like eight to 10 other studios who were involved in kind of the making of this project, this initiative. And I think it's a really big net benefit to collab like this. Again, there's going to be a few others, like you mentioned. Again, there's a Latin Expo. I think there was minority specific ones.
Guerrilla Collective do one as well.
Guerrilla Collective, yeah. Devolver Digital has one for their own, but they'll have branch outs that'll come in, but they're under Devolver's banner.
Those are short films. It feels those are short films with game trailers built in.
Honestly, those are a little bit different, but still, you have like your pockets. But if there was a way to kind of platform as many as possible in a certain manner, I think this is possibly one of the best executions of it, or one of the best outlooks of it, in my opinion, because you're bringing so many people to the table to produce it. And, you know, it's going to table so many different looks and so many different games that are going to be there. So I really appreciate that this format, this organization, this conglomerate of folks have come together to really put indies on in as much of an expansive way as possible. Again, they're projecting from all their individual channels, and they're bringing this together for this, for the collective initiative, and that, you know, the moniker, the name, the brand, whatever you want to call it. So I really think that's important. You know, I don't want to skip over the fact that they did this and they've, you know, joined forces. So many different, you know, publishers, developers have joined forces to make it happen. I think this is something that at the indie level, you know, we should definitely see more investment into and more support for, as we try and keep pushing it. Because again, everybody has their respective corners, you know. Again, like the other organizations and indie conferences and showcases that we mentioned, but being able to collaborate and have open collaboration to kind of push that whole platform forward for indie, I think that's really big. I think this is something that's really big and can be pushed to a very high level. And that's, you know, this could be something that we see. You know, this could be something that we see a lot more of going forward. And I want this to be as big as an Xbox conference, a PlayStation conference. Again, realistically, it's going to be ways away, but at least in again, presentation and support behind the scenes, I want that to have that level of support and you know, visibility in the industry. I feel like the collaboration aspect of so many people coming together behind the scenes helps it a lot. So that's good. The format of it, again, straight games, no talking heads, just information. You let it go, let it fly. Loved it. And just a couple of standout things. Again, we saw some stuff that we already knew of. More of Mouse. I love Mouse. I need more, bruh. I have never been more excited about a mouse in my life. And yes, that is a direct slight to Disney. All right, I need that. All right, well, exception for Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's beside the point. Mouse looks fantastic, always looks fantastic, and I can't wait to see more of that. 33 Immortals, which again we saw early things of, early like looks of last year.
Yeah,
I'm glad that that's kind of had another look in, and they're going into early access, I believe in May. So I cannot wait to see what they do. That looks like a really, really interesting game as always. And I feel like again the multiplayer aspect is it's always going to catch me. It's always going to catch me in some way, shape, or form, especially in a more condensed format, co-op. To that scale, looks like an interesting concept. What was it? I get we talked about the what's it called? The dinosaurs and the knights, like the
Dino Lords.
Dino Lords. Thank you. That looked really, really cool. Let me see what else. V Rising Legacy of Castlevania. Listen, they got Belmont's up in this bitch again. Lovely stuff. I can't, you know what I'm saying, I cannot fault anything that has a Belmont or Castlevania attached to it. So that's that. There was a collab, I believe, of Vampire Survivors and Contra, which was really cool. They had like a whole Operation Guns, I think it was, and it's coming to PlayStation as well. That's a cool update. Kill Knight was one of my standouts as well. Kill Knight, I really enjoyed how, just how it looked, how it flowed. Again, as you kind of get more powerful, as you continue to not die, you're gonna have that continual like, little boost in power ups. I like that concept. I liked how that played out. Looked really, just cool as shit. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, we got a really good mix of stuff that we knew about. Again, we saw Flintlocks, we saw again just common games. Slay the Spire 2, which is also again it's getting a sequel. Which go talk about it.
So for those who don't know a little bit of Wen lore, I have ADHD out the wazoo. I fucking can't. I literally am clicking around. Even when we're doing this podcast, I'm clicking around or doing shit that's like super meaningless just so I could try to pay attention. And one game that I play is my solitaire is Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is such a really fucking good game. It is phenomenal. I cannot emphasize how much fun it is. It's such a it changed. I used to be a huge fan of Hearthstone, but I hated how fucking expensive it is to be a fan of that game. Slay the Spire gave me everything that I wanted out of Hearthstone in a fucking $10-15 game. Like, it is so good. The fact that we got a Slay the Spire 2 is bananas. I didn't think we were gonna get another game for a long ass time. Slay the Spire 2, absolutely one of the best indie games I've played in my lifetime, hands down, no questions asked. I am really excited for that game. 2025 for early access is killing me though. I love early access and hate it at the same time. I love early access because I could play a game and like kind of like kickstart in a sense. Like I remember kickstarting. The only game I think I kickstarted was Blood Stained, the game that's a Castlevania like spiritual successor. Phenomenal game. I got the game, got my code, whatever, had a fun time. The thing I love about early access is that I can play the games and fund them and help them build this game up before they come out. But the negative to that is the fact that the game is never done when you buy it. So unless you're like playing a survival game, you can get 100 hours of it. But if it's something like Raven's Watch, which is a game I was playing, I can only get to like chapter 2 before they're like, all right, that's really all we got for you right now. And that's the part that hurts so much, is that like now I'm excited for early access in 2025. I'm sure though I will find something to play in 2025. I'm sure there's a couple indie games like the Grand Theft Auto 6 that's coming out to take my time up, so that I'm not obsessing over when this game is going to be fully done. But Slay the Spire, phenomenal game. And even if you're not into card, like the way this game works, you don't even have to be like a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Like, it literally is, if you can understand something as simple as like solitaire, you will have fun with this game. Like, it opens up your brain. It is not super there's not too many rules. It's super simple, really easy to get a hang of. But that game looks amazing. Don't mean to take your turn, but I do want to talk about some of the other games that I saw there too, like the Rogue Prince of Persia looked bananas.
I want to get into that, bro. I want to get into that. We can talk about it. Oh my goodness! Again, there was a rumor that did pop up before the showcase was even up, talking about a Prince of Persia game with the Dead Cells producers, with the Dead Cells team. And what the hell, bro? Again, just the platforming, the animations, the attacks. I mean, again, just the whole roguelike, that format in the Prince of Persia skin. It just looks, sounds, feels good in early access May 14th. I was loving it, bro. Again, the platform looks so smooth. I just love the color palettes and how you just platformed your way around, bro. The animations look super fucking cool. I'm with this. I need it. There's nothing much else to say for me. I like this shit. I need it.
No, it looks bananas. Like and it looks like such a it's a very big difference from that to like the Prince of Persia game that they dropped in January.
Mm-hmm.
Bananas ass game. They both look like I love that it's not just the same thing again.
Yes.
Like you can buy both of them and have two different experiences. It looks to me, it looks more akin to like the old Prince of Persia, like I don't know, like the cell phone games, but like for a way younger audience. Like it's just like, yo, there's gonna be platforming, there's gonna be, your movement is gonna be very important. Like I'm really excited to tap into that. Another game that looked bananas, I think I already mentioned it, was Streets of Rogue 2. I have to play it because you can't show me we need to overthrow a government and then say, oh, you could also just not do that shit and just build a house and just buy. Like I want to see how much of not doing the objective I can do. Like that, I guess that's like always been my thing. It's like I'm gonna do every single side quest in every game that I do. Like I want to see how far I can go in this game and doing whatever I want. Like they said a couple things like, oh, you can hire mercenaries, you can make a zombie invasion. I saw that there was a jail. Maybe you can like break people out of jail and be like, yo, I broke you out of jail, like become like a super villain. Like it looks like a wild ass game. I'm really excited to play that. We already talked about Hyper Light Breakers in this podcast before.
Yep.
Bananas game looks phenomenal. Wizards of Legends 2 looks really good. We talked about how like a game will go from like 2D to 3D. Similar to Hyper Light Breaker. I really would love to see. I'm excited for Wizards of Legend 2 because they're going for a more 2D, 2.5D type of aesthetic. Like it's more 3D. I want to play it, and I hope we get a Wizards of Legend 3 in full 3D, similar to like a Risk of Rain, like just like a third-person type of wizard game. But this game looks really good. I heard amazing things about this franchise from a friend that really loves roguelikes. I love roguelikes. I really want to tap into that. And another game, this game has already been in early access, but huge cozy vibes. My Time at Sandrock looked really cool. I'm really happy that they're doing crossplay, because now you can, if Sandrock goes on like Game Pass, or if you buy it and you can play with your friends, like that's another big like benefit. Because I have My Time at I think it's like My Time at Portia, and they also have that on Xbox Game Pass. Really good cozy games. It's like Stardew Valley, but third person, like really good. We could spend all day on all the good games that they showed, because there's so many good games. But I think if I had to choose, if I had to walk away, be like, yo, I need 3 games out of this list that I'm leaving with right now to go home with and play. Definitely gonna have to say Streets of Rogue 2. Slay the Spire 2, even though like I don't even really want to count that, because all they did was say we're making it and made a sick like anime intro. All they said was like we're making it, but I'm gonna go with that. And I'm also gonna have to lock in. Oh wait, Shadow of a Doubt was also another bananas ass game too. Like that was also a bananas ass game. I'm like, what is like? There's so many questions I have. I think I'm gonna walk away with Slay the Spire 2, Streets of Rogue 2, and Shadows of a Doubt, because this game looks like a AAA game. Like that's the best way to describe it. It looks like so many different avenues.
I forgot it was like the detective one, right?
Detective one, yeah. You're like opening up the blind. Like it looks so cool. You're sneaking around. Like it looks like, this kind of reminds me of like Deus Ex in a sense of like the levels of freedom you want to use to approach like your situations. It looks bananas. It looks absolutely insane.
Bro, I would definitely tap into that, bro. That definitely is an interesting game. My 3, this is gonna be tough, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's so hard.
One thing I will say before I give my 3 about the Rogue. Somebody on Twitter made up a really good point about just kind of like how, you know how you mentioned, like, again, it's completely different from the other Prince of Persia game that came out this year. The Lost, I'm about to say the Lost Sands. I forget the name, the subtext of the name, but whatever. It's 2 different experiences compared to, again, the other one that dropped this year. And the person on Twitter, I completely forget where this tweet came from. I apologize. I cannot find his name. I'll find it in a second. But they were just like, this actually could be a good contingency plan or a good forward plan for, again, AAA IPs, because they could just say like, yo, listen, we might not want to take the risk of our personal studio being able to, develop these things, but if we hand it off to an indie studio or somebody who, can take it to a different place in terms of gameplay experience experience feel, and there's enough synergy there, we could create a whole nother set of fans from that. And you know, they're in love with the IP, but we create a whole different experience in this lane, and we still make money off of it. So I'm like, that actually is a really cool, again, it's a cool concept that's been happening again here and there over the years with different IPs. But I absolutely love taking what you know about an IP and completely shifting it. Not necessarily, you don't have to do it within studio. It didn't have to be like a whole Hyperlight Drifter to Hyperlight Breaker. You don't have to change the whole plane. It's like a 3D, you know, a 3D, you know, fully 3D game. But for like the Rogue Prince of Persia, taking it to like a whole roguelite side scroller type thing and putting it out of the mold of most of what we knew in the recent times, I think that's a really good idea, a really good approach for AAA studios, AAA IPs to start adopting. Like, if you imagine, you know, like some big ass, like, yeah, like, I mean, everybody, I think for the people that tried Halo Wars, people love Halo Wars because it's in a different format and it's still fleshed out. There's a lot of quality there. That's a really good example, honestly. Like, you put an IP, you know, into a format with trusted developers, and they can make something cool and create a whole new subsection of fans for your base that adds to the whole mythos of your IP, adds to the whole notoriety of your IP. And I love stuff like that. So the Rogue is something I really like. I love, again, just expanding the definition and the just the visibility of an IP, changing up what we know about it, changing the questions, you know, when we have the answers in some sort of way. So I love that stuff. All right, my three. Damn, this is hard. Shit, there's like six.
Yeah, there's so many like good games.
6 to 8. Oh my gosh. All right. Wait. Okay. Also, I'm not gonna pick games we've seen before. I won't pick games we've seen before. I will not do that. So Mouse is out, 33 Immortals is out, the Palworld update, which we'll talk about later, is out. Tachia is out, Hyperlight Breaker is out. Let me see, Risk of Rain 2 is out. That's just an update, but shout out to Risk of Rain 2 as always. Flintlock is also out, Vampire Survivors is also out. All right, cool. So let me pick a 3. I will go Kill Knight, Shadows of a Doubt, shit. And I'm going the Rogue. Yeah, I'm bugging. I was like to spend a whole fucking 5 minutes talking about it. What am I doing? So yeah, Kill Knight, Shadows of a Doubt 100%, and the Rogue. That's my 3. I thought this was a really good showcase, man. I listen, it did what it was supposed to do. Didn't again spend too much time being overbearing or anything like that. One little break for people to get your water and get back into it. Straight information. Love it. Honestly, I get this a B+. This is a really good show.
Yeah, no, I definitely give it a B+. I think we need more like this. I really love, and I also wanted to jump on what you said earlier about the Prince of Persia thing. I think one thing too that a lot of companies are just kind of afraid to do, growing your communities on a smaller scale and then expanding upward. Like starting off small, doing something like a Rogue of Prince of Persia. It's very different from what we're used to. Let's see what people like. Oh man, people are enjoying this. Okay, let's keep building on it. Let's keep expanding on this idea and see how many more people we can get invested in this. Okay, now we have this established audience. Let's put some like AAA money into it now. Let's see how big we can make this game. You know what I'm saying? Cooking on something small, a concept, growing it gradually, having people enjoy it, and then being like, you know what? Let's change the game. Let's make this a big ass AAA release. My theory, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, for example, if they were to make a Risk of Rain 3, if they were to do a AAA version of that, or put more money into a bigger budget into a game like that, it could absolutely expand into something way greater. Like similar to what happened with Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls. A lot of people played it, and not many people enjoyed it at first. It wasn't like commercially mainline successful, and then they just kept working on the formula, working on what makes the game good. And then eventually when Elden Ring dropped, when they got to that point in their careers, now it is a staple. Now it's something that we cannot ignore. Similar to what Larian did with Divinity 1, Divinity 2. I was a huge fan of Divinity 2. Like everybody, when Divinity 1 dropped, I enjoyed it. And when I was keeping up with Divinity 2, and then when Baldur's Gate 3 dropped, now look at where we are. I think they need to start thinking of a long-term game, long-term storytelling, similar to like WWE, like long-term. Let's start out with something small. Like if you're a wrestling fan, you'll understand this. Let's start off with the Shield and let's get to the Bloodline. Like let's start off with something small, build on it, see what works, see what doesn't, reformat it, restructure it, and then get to the end. Because I think a lot of people will see something new. Like I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 3 or 4 years we get 5 different Helldiver clones. Like I would not be surprised if they see this game.
Trust me, it's already on the way, brother. It's already
you
on
know
the
what
way.
I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be surprised if we see that coming out the woodworks. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 2 or 3 more Palworlds in our lifetime because they see what other people cooked up and decided to go stupid. Now these aren't the best examples because these are Helldivers 1 is a good example because Helldivers from Helldivers 1 to Helldivers 2 was like small huge community, saw what worked, let's build on it, let's expand. Palworld, that's just magic, baby. We can't even talk. I don't know how best to describe.
That's lightning in a bottle. I don't know. That's a pure anomaly, but very good game.
Shit just happened. But like instead of trying to create something or steal fans from somebody else, start off something small, build on it, let it grow. Like I'm excited to play something like My Time at Sandrock. I'm sure if this franchise will keep growing and keep getting better as long as you're listening to the community and finding out what works and what doesn't. Just keeping on, but don't fall for the pitfalls of like, hey, I'm gonna try to like take this from Fortnite and make my own Fortnite. Like let's not do that. Innovation is really what's gonna succeed, but it's a long game. It's not a short game.
Yeah, fully agree. It's like if there's a chance to, and again, that point also speaks to the sustainability of game development. You know, if you can take maybe not a huge capital intensive project, you give it to somebody, you know, you give Prince of Persia to somebody like the makers of Dead Cells, and they make something great with it. You just gained a whole bunch of fans for probably a fraction of the price of you making a whole brand new AAA game yourself. Or you have one cooking in the background, but you need something to fill. You're not exactly sure how it's going to be well received. But if you have other projects that are still building within the IP, you're creating that momentum for the IP, and when the big AAA thing drops, you might have a whole legion of new fans that you never expected because they played the lost, I'm about to say the lost game from the beginning of the year. They played the Rogue, you know, that's coming from the Dead Cells team. That build up is again, it's organic, and it could be very effective in the sense that they're seeing it in so many different media formats. Some people might not have any choice else but to follow the IP because they've seen 2 great experiences from it. Like, yo, shit, Prince of Persia's doing a lot of great stuff. Let's see what Prince of Persia's got next. So that build up, like when we're talking about, that could be very key for how a lot of AAAs move forward. That could be very, very important, you know, and employing that more. I think it's only going to lead to other great game experiences, allowing people to jump out of their genres of comfort and experience something that they might not have been privy to before, which I think is always good. Expanding your horizons, expanding your taste. I think that's always a plus. And yeah, just kind of building from different fronts. So interesting stuff. But I really do think that's something that AAA should really be looking as much into as possible, or more into over the time that we go, to help diversify. You know, diversify your bonds, man. Diversify your bonds. We're the Wu-Tang. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, the Triple I, man. Triple I, solid. Super solid. All right, we can push on to the second main story here. Again, we're in April as of this recording, but we got stuff to do in the summer, man. We have stuff to do in the summer because there's a lot of showcases. You already know it's E3 season, and there's been a lot of rumors that Xbox is going to show up on June 9th with their showcase. And the reason why I bring this up even early is because there's been a lot of talk about their position in the industry, what they have to possibly prove this year with their showcase. And there's been a lot of rumors and a lot of talk of what could be there as well. And one of the leading stories and rumors in the mill is that there may be something involving Gears of War at the new showcase. So give me Gears talk in terms of Xbox, and then we can move on to just their general, what do they got to do?
Let me stop myself from saying I'm sure the Gears fans have been asking for it, you know. Me personally, you know, like I don't know, man. I just
bro, you're public enemy like so you're public enemy number 1 to 5 on hating Xbox first parties, bro. Halo's getting hell from you since this podcast has started. Gears has gotten hell from you since this podcast has started. Almost every leading line Xbox property's gotten hell from you, and I know Xbox fans on your neck, but they listening out here.
Like the problem, I just have an issue with the games, man, because I just don't care anymore. I don't really care. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here and acting like the OG God of War would be my favorite games right now. Like if those games are still, if the God of War was still the same it was when it came out on PS2, PS3, I'd be like, cool, but it wouldn't be moving the needle for me, right? I think that I liked Halo Infinite, but Halo Infinite just had a really shitty rollout. It just wasn't ready. And I understand, like, honestly, I think if Halo would have waited and had a good, solid package before it dropped, we would be in a way better place. But they gave us Halo Early Access. And honestly, we kind of cooked that shit. By the time they started coming out with real content, it was already cooked for me. I wasn't even, like, interested anymore. The issue I have with Gears is that I know it's going to be full price. I'm not even going to pretend like it's not going to be a full price $70 game. I don't really care much for the competitive aspect of Gears. I'm not a huge Gears. I didn't play Gears multiplayer, so the only thing that would have really got me into it would be Gears single player. But I don't even know what the fuck's going on in that franchise. And I would love to play Gears of War all the way through, the same way I would have loved to play Halo all the way through. But the issue is when I try to play Halo multiplayer, like when I try to play the Halo collection multiplayer with my girlfriend, I couldn't connect. The game didn't work. That part of the game didn't work. They focused on the multiplayer, which, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are really excited to play Halo 1 multiplayer. Why don't we work on the motherfucking co-op shit? Because I feel like that's what a lot of people, like, that's what I thought everybody really liked about this game was the story mode. And the multiplayer is fun. I did have fun playing those. I think my favorite might have been 3, or I think it was Reach. It's still Reach. Reach was really fun multiplayer. The issue I have is just the problem of, like, the parts of the franchise that were really, really important to a lot of people are kind of inaccessible. So, like, I can't really sit here and be like, I'm a huge Gears fan when the only Gears I could have played on PC, I don't know if this is, let me double check because I haven't checked this in a while, but for a long ass time I couldn't play Gears 1 through 3 on PC. The only one that was on PC was Gears 1, and that wasn't even on Game Pass. But Gears 4, 5, I don't think 6 is out, right?
6 would be the next one, but 4, 5. I don't know.
Gears
if they made
4 and 5.
Judgment. We don't talk about Judgment.
Yeah, like Gears 4, 5, that's available on PC. Like I'm on Game Pass as we speak. Gears 4 is on here, Gears 1 is on here, Gears Tactic is on here, and Guilty Gear Strive is on here. That last one isn't a Gears game, but I've played that one. That one was pretty heat. And that's like the kind of the issue that I have is that I want to get into this franchise, but y'all can't sit here, make me play Gears 1, and then I'm gonna jump to 4, and then they bring somebody back, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? You know, like who's even that guy? So until they can fix that part of their game, like when they fix that shit, then I could be like, I bet we tap it in. I'm gonna really like get into this franchise. But they need to work on making the parts of the game, the games that people, because I think Gears 2 was everybody's favorite, if I'm not mistaken. Gears 2 was like
a lot of people love Gears 2. Yeah, I was a late bloomer. I came in at Gears 3, and I love Gears 3. Gears 3 is probably my favorite. I went back to at least play 2's campaign. I never played 1. I fuck with 2, but 3's got to be my favorite just off of GP. Just that's when I got the most game time in. That's just when like it was hottest. But yeah.
And that's the issue is that like I would love to tap into this franchise, but how can I? You're not making it easy for me to. So I'm not really excited for Gears 6. And that's also like the multiplayer scene. I don't really hear too many ways from it. I know for a while it used to be really big competitively, but I haven't heard about competitive Gears in a minute. And I'll hear murmurs of competitive Call of Duty. And I don't even like Call of Duty, so it's not like I'm looking for it. But the fact that I hear it's somewhere near my radar, I haven't heard somebody even saying, let me hop on Gears Online in a minute. So it's like, man, I'm just not tapped in. I just don't really care too much. I don't really know what they even could bring. Like, so you said it was Gears, and what were the other?
So before we get to the others, the biggest rumor was Gears, and I will counter argue for the positivity of Gears, because damn it, that's what I'm here
stupid. And the thing is, it's like I want to say this. I want to be very clear. I think those games are probably super gas. I've watched the cutscenes for those games. Because when I was younger, I didn't have an Xbox, so I'd watch the cutscenes for Xbox games, and I'm like, this story's sick. But I can't sit here and be like, man, I'm excited to shoot some fucking shit when I've never shot shit in the games that wasn't one. You know, I want to enjoy these games. I can't hate on them, but I also can't sit here and pretend like I can't wait for Gear 6 when I never played the bitches, you know?
Yeah, nah, I understandable, man. I really get it. I will say though, with Halo's credibility being shot, you know, which sucks because I from everything that I've heard, and I'm definitely gonna try it over the next couple weeks. I'm gonna find time to get into it. I heard Halo Infinite is actually in a good place again, and people are loving it who are playing it. But you know, it's like a case of too little, too late for the masses and the mainstream. But with their credibility still being shot overall, I think that the onus does fall on Gears to be a big like delivery hit. In its heyday, around like Gears 3 times, it was being talked about like opposite of Call of Duty in certain regards. Like, yo, like it was thrust in the mix of some conversations. Like, I remember Gears 3 and it was like, yo, we're not playing Call of Duty, we playing Gears. Like, get on Gears. Like, we playing King of the Hill and all that shit like that. Like, bro, they were really about that Gears life. And I think it has that, it can have the momentum again. It just needs to really find its footing. I feel like Gears 4, as much I feel like there wasn't even, I feel like it was stinted hype for some reason. I don't know, maybe it was caught in the controversy of it being like again going into a PC simultaneous drop as an Xbox, because I think that was the first game, one of the first games of the era that did that for Xbox. It was like a simultaneous PC and Xbox drop at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, in like 14, 15. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I think that out of all of the IPs that they have outside of Halo, which is going to be in a different state right now, they're re-upping for a new game, but they're going to be a ways off. They're going to be a long time away. The Gears, I think, is in the prime position to come back and make an impact for Xbox and be a breadwinner first party title. On one end, Gears I thought looked beautiful, and Gears 5 I think it's going to be well suited to the graphical jumps that, you know, the Xbox can provide in down the line with the next console, whatever it drops, blah blah blah. For the summer, I think showing it and showing off the best that it might have, or at least giving a little glimpse of what it can provide, would be a really good thing. I think from a content standpoint, the multiplayer, Xbox, I think they need to hit hard with something else. I mean, they have Call of Duty in their bag, but that's multiplayer. I'm not counting that. It's outside the box. But I think the multiplayer of Gears always hits really, really hard. I feel like they can definitely bring some more to that. And with the rise of, you know, just more of the co-op, the ongoing type of I guess service things that have been really being pushed as of late. Shout out to I believe it was Wally from 8-Bit Closed Fist. He put out a great little short video on just talking about Gears and how potentially it could be great. Like it could be its own set of Helldivers in a way, with a live service thing that people continue to subscribe to. And in part I agree with that. I really do agree with that. Maybe it can be you know, expanded upon through Horde mode itself, and not like its own, not like an own additional mode where it's like a live service drop thing, but maybe you could expand on it within Horde mode and maybe give different mission structures to Horde mode instead of just survival. You know, there's just things that develop within it. It might be the same converging point as Wally, I'm not sure, but shout out to him still. I think Gears, content-wise, has a lot of room to make an impact as well. They can have, again, ongoing live service updates. They have a world that's expansive and deep, and they can, again, push it into brand new directions that warrant a lot of continual interest and continual updates. They just gotta, like you said, I think it's just the access aspect, making sure it's working prime, making sure it's working well, making sure the content consistently rolls through, the usual things that we talk about. Like I think it has the potential to, and if people see it again, they will be excited. It's just they have to give it its just due. They have to give it the max amount of coverage, visibility in the lead up, and if they do it right, this could be something that ends up being in the ballpark of a console seller for the next Xbox. I feel like this is not going to be like a soon thing. They will definitely hold the trigger for this on the next Xbox. This won't be a holiday drop. This won't be nothing crazy, but next Xbox, next generation type thing. But they got to start now. And outside of Gears, there was a couple other things that they talked about. I know, what's it called? They said Perfect Dark Remake. They're probably ready to show something for that again. You already know my stance on this. Hurry up, Joanna. Hurry up. Yeah, they don't, nobody believes in you. I don't want to go to Michael Irvin thing, but you know what I mean. Like, I think that they have something to give just doing respect to Rare. You know what I mean? I think they have something to give there. Outside of that, I was trying to remember a couple other ones, but those are two big ones that stand out in my head: showing Gears and showing Perfect Dark Remake. Because we talked about this. Shut up. We talked about this earlier. We talked about it in a prior episode. The routes that they're going with the early access, with the accessibility being available in different channels, you know what I'm saying, like are having their storefronts, having the Epic Game Store on the Xbox, having Xbox Store on PCs and all that stuff like that, like continuing access points to change the ecosystem around gaming. They're doing that well. They have their plan, but that's cool. But you need games to supplement the access that you're having, because if you're providing yourself everywhere but you're not giving any value in the thing that people value most, in the category that people value most, games, then what use do you really have in the space? So you gotta I think for this showcase, they have to show in the short term what's coming out now. Again, we're already gonna get a Call of Duty shit. The next Call of Duty is gonna be showing the next Xbox showcase. We already know this. That's basic standard fact at this point. But you need to show what's dropping in the short term to give Xbox some value, and start really stamping your feet, standing on business of what's coming down the line in the next few years. They have to be near flawless on all fronts when it comes to presenting their games, or else they're going to be even further behind in the race. This is an opportunity year for Xbox, in my opinion. With PlayStation, they said, oh yeah, we're not dropping any new first party games until 2025. They plan to drop smaller ones and throughout this year. They could have a big showcase planned. We don't know what's going on yet, but with Xbox being the most front forwarding, I guess, transparent out of the big three, they have a chance and an opportunity to make a statement, to make a declarative statement. Yo, we have got hot shit now, we have got hot shit on the way. This is the place that you're going to want to be, and we're going to make it easier for you to get involved in the Xbox ecosystem. That's really that. But what would you like to see from an Xbox showcase this year?
Damn, what would I like to see from Xbox? Damn.
The silence.
I'm trying to think of I know it's crazy, right? I'm trying to think of Xbox games that I really enjoyed. I mean, I like Grounded. I feel like all the games that I've liked from Xbox are Xbox adjacent. So any first party Xbox game outside of Fable, maybe. I feel like Fable would be sick. Some gameplay or something of that would be dope. I guess I'll throw that as my first party, so you can't say I didn't say something nice about first party Xbox. I would like to see from their partners though, or their acquired people, some Doom, some Wolfenstein.
Oh, a new Doom.
I would literally die. I think the and I could be wrong. I feel like it's usually Doom. It's Wolfenstein Doom, or the opposite. But it's either or. So Doom Eternal was the last one to come out.
Damn, it's been 4 years.
Yeah, since Eternal.
Yeah, it's been 4 years since Eternal.
That makes a lot of sense. So I feel like a new Wolfenstein game would be sick. I haven't played the one with his daughters. I want to run through that, but yeah, I kind of want to play a co-op because I heard it's better that way. But I also heard it wasn't the greatest game ever. But a new Wolfenstein game would be sick, or a new Doom game. I would be really excited for that. I gotta play through Outer Worlds, so I can't really say I'm excited for the new Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds is fantastic. Oh my goodness!
I played a bit of it. It's really good. It's really solid.
Did you get it on Epic Game Store?
Yes, I got it on Epic Game Store. I played it on
good man.
I played it on whatchamacallit on Xbox as well. I don't think Xbox had it, but I played a good amount of it on Epic. I got up to the part where you go to the ship, but it's all in all, it's a really solid compact game is what it felt like. I'm this is a really good RPG. I want to play through it. But I want to say those would, I guess, be the things that I'm looking forward to. Usually with Xbox, I'm not really I kind of want them to wow me. They haven't really set up good grounds for anything to make it long-lasting impression on me specifically. They have a lot of potential with a lot of the IPs that they have. I love Grounded. Yeah. I love
I'm about to say,
I love Doom. I love Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
they have Palworld now too, or they're connected with them.
There's all the smaller ones too, where I think they aren't established yet, but they can still really jump out. Again, Clockwork Revolution, South of Midnight, We haven't heard anything. I don't know what's up with State of Decay. State of Decay, I don't know what's
Oh my
the word with
fucking
that.
god! I pushed that out of my mind because it depresses me
I
so.
work.
That is
I
literally
forgot where
my
State of
favorite
Decay
Xbox
is.
game.
Literally,
That
I
is
forgot where-
actually my favorite fucking game, and those bitches put out a dumbass fucking teaser trailer and hoed me. That was repressed. Trip. Thank you for bringing that shit back up. I literally got over that. I moved past that point in my life, and now you opened up another wound. I appreciate that. Where the fuck
apologize.
is State of Decay 3? I play State of Decay 2 and be like, damn, this game is so good, but like, and you can still play that game right now. It's still a really good game. But fuck you for telling me State of Decay 3 is on the way. I didn't want to burn myself out, so I stopped playing 2. Y'all some liar. Fucking Gear 6. We don't need Gear 6. We need State of Decay 3. We needed that shit.
Oh man,
Fuck.
I was trying to go through the big Xbox IPs that we haven't seen in a minute. I'm like, we for sure got a State of Decay some announcement from a while ago. That's a deep cut. That's my fault, bro. That's my fault.
No. They announced it so long ago,
Yeah.
and then they were like,
I was like,
nah, son,
2017.
psych.
That's insane. But yeah, they got that. Everwild. I know there was another one that was out there. What was it? Contraband was one as well. I think that got announced somewhere.
Contraband, like the one that, not the one that where you like search people's cars, right?
No. I don't think so. I don't think we even got like any gameplay for it exactly. But it was like a heist. It was like a heist type like thing that was somewhat on the way. It was from Avalanche. It was like a. It's just like a co-op heist game. Literally just kind of like a. What's like the name of the other one?
Payday.
Thank you. I'm about to say. Yes.
Where's replaced?
Where's replaced as well? Where is replaced? I don't even know if that's exactly Xbox, but still, where's replaced? That's just a general question at this point. What the hell's replaced?
It was on Game Pass. It's close enough, Xbox. Chop. I'm blaming you for everything.
Honestly, bro. But yeah, there's a lot of burgeoning IPs that are there for the taking for them, and they can really use them to jump up. Again, Fable as well. I don't know if I said Fable already, but yeah, Fable, like that new Fable that's coming. We got the one teaser or the one little gameplay, half cutscene trailer, which was good. It's good start, but we're gonna need more. I want Fable to come back in a big way. They could do something with Quake. Listen, that's for the old heads, but like I'm cool with a Quake. I play Quake 3. You know what I'm saying? I play Quake Champs. I'll run with it. There's
I'm surprised they haven't really. I mean, I feel like that could have been a really great IP for them. I'm surprised they didn't put a lot of effort into it. You know, like not effort. Like I played a little bit of Quake Heroes. It was actually kind of fun, but they just like stopped. They were just like, nah, we're kind of just shifted focus.
And I'm just like, that's sad. That's sad to me. I have a reason, and I think that's what it is, and I will get into it with another story that's somewhere down the line this episode, and you'll know when it is. But I think I have a point about that where it kind of makes sense from their point of view, but from ours it's kind of sad. But you know, again, overall, Xbox has a point to prove. Like every year I think they do. Like this is no different, but I feel like especially so close to the next generation, and with them closing the deal of Activision Blizzard King, and you know, with them trying to focus on them going, some games are multi-platform, some games are, you know, first party, with all the strategy, you know, emphasis. With all these moves solidified now, people know their position, people know what they're going for, what they're gunning for. They have to make a statement with the games. The strategy is fine. That's great. I'm glad that they're figuring their way out in the gaming industry and are setting up for years to come in hardware and software, all that stuff. Fantastic. Create competition. But where are the games? This is the year to give us everything. What's coming now, what's coming down the line, what we can expect. What business are you going to be standing on for the next couple of years, Xbox? This is the time, in my opinion. This summer is.
Yeah, you guys need to tighten up. I really do think Xbox is a giant, right? But I feel like it's a gentle giant. Like you guys are acquiring things, which is cool, but like it's not like you guys are kind of acquiring. It feels like you guys aren't even acquiring things to like get aggressive in the market. It feels like they're acquiring things just so that they don't go away in the market, which is like, thanks Xbox, you're cool, but like to make you my mainstay is really, really difficult when it's like, oh well, what do I have to look forward to as an Xbox owner outside of Game Pass being a really, really good value? You know, like why am I here? What am I sticking around for outside of just being like, oh, you know, I got this Xbox because everything is cheap as shit, and I'm like, that's awesome, but I want Xbox to kind of stand on its own feet. Somebody asked me, this dude came through, dude who was working in like for the water company. It was really random, but he was like checking the meter or whatever, and he's like, yo, you're a gamer, because he saw my setup. He's like, yeah, what do you think is better, Xbox or PlayStation? I'm like, honestly, like PlayStation just has better games, but if you want a better value, like it's hands down Xbox. And he's like, what about graphics and shit? I'm like, it's all really the same, but like if you only had one and you have money, I'd get a PlayStation, because like why get an Xbox? I want them to prove me wrong. I would love for Xbox to like throw their weight around a little bit, because I think they have potential. They've acquired a bunch of shit, but are you acquiring these things so that they can keep making the money they're making? Like, did you acquire Overwatch just so that Overwatch can just keep making Overwatch money and you just now take a cut of it? Or did you acquire Overwatch to make it one of the best shooters in the landscape of things, you know? Do you want to make it the biggest shooter there is, or do you just want to take the money that they're making?
Yeah. Well, 100%. It's crazy when you talk to like a lot of like, again, just a lot of people. Why you got to switch? Oh, because of Mario Party, Mario Kart, because of Legend of Zelda. You know what I'm saying? Breath of the Wild. I love that shit. That's why I got to switch. Why you got a PlayStation? Oh, because of God of War, The Last of Us. Why'd you get an Xbox? It used to be because of Halo, because of Gears of War, because of those type of games. But now that reasoning, that thing is missing. That thing is not the foremost statement that comes out of a lot of gamers' heads. The access, the value is that leading reason, and it's not the game anymore. Now this puts them in a behind position, again, in my opinion, because you can't communicate the value to certain people, to certain people who are going to look at the overall standing of things. In time, once they bring the games back into the equation, you now have games and value and access over the other competitors in your space. They're playing the long game. Now you got to start pushing to deliver that second half of the equation, so you can have the reasoning for, oh, the Xbox got great value on it. You got a lot of stuff, Game Pass, blah blah blah. But then you say, but I also got it for Halo. I also got it for Gears of War. Again, you know what I mean? Bringing that reasoning back to their, like, you know, why people get this, why consumers tap in. It's that balance. As much as you want the strategy to work, the games and the end product has to work too. So again, just a big task ahead of them for the showcase this summer. All right, so let's switch gears here. Let's give y'all some quick bites, man. We got a lot of quick things that we just want to touch on. Again, we'll try and be as quick as possible. If we get on a tangent, we apologize, but let's start with this story. So it was kind of revealed this week. I think it was a Lord Balvin tweet that just got picked up by news and stuff everywhere. It was a whole, I guess, a whole Nolan verse, like the Dark Knight, a Batman game that was actually, it was like a whole fully fledged game that got canceled, but it had the Nemesis system in it. So it was like one of the early workings and early uses of the Nemesis system was in the game. You could fly around Gotham, you could do a bunch of different shit. There was a bunch like a gameplay that was there for it. When did you catch any of this?
I did see a little bit of it, but when they said Nolan versus Batman, I was like, fuck that shit. Don't get me wrong, I like third-person shooters. I really don't want to play a third-person shooter Batman. I know it's not that, but like, it's Nolan. I'm not over that. I'm sorry, I'm not over the fact this man used guns. But besides the point, I think it's pretty cool.
It was just for the windows. Just for the windows.
Yeah, sure. I think it could have been really cool. Personally, I feel like what would have been dope would have been like, I think a Batman Year One, putting it like in that kind of a scope, so that way like the villains that you play become like bigger players in the end. Like the Nemesis system will have a lot of room to grow. But honestly, a Nemesis system with Batman, I think works really, really well. And just sad to see that it just won't ever happen. Like it just truly just won't ever happen.
Yeah, crazy, man. Monolith, again, at least they had time to tweak the Nemesis system and to kind of see it working in a certain way. It would have been really cool to see it with Batman, but you know, it just didn't come to be. Didn't come to pass. We could have been in the Batmobile, the whole Tumblr and stuff like that. I feel like if this had the full time and attention.
Oh shit! Wait. Nolanverse. I'm thinking fucking Snyderverse. I'm sorry. I literally never hear people say Nolanverse.
Yeah, no.
I take that back.
Yeah, no,
That shit is
yeah,
gas.
the Dark Knight. Yeah, I mean the Dark Knight, the
Yeah.
Batman Begins, the first three, not those. Yeah, not the other one. But what's it called? I just, if this game got the proper time, I felt like this could have been something that changed the perception of the video game movies from the 2000s. You know what I mean? Those attached games. I feel like it definitely would have, in my opinion. A lot of it looked cool. The stealth sequences, the combat stuff, like. I mean, of course, they took a lot of it and moved it into like the Arkham system, and again the Nemesis system, of course, from the Shadow of War games. And it's cool that they got adapted into other things, but it would have been cool to see some Batman stuff. But I mean, we got Arkham Asylum and shit, so I'm not even mad. We got Arkham Asylum, and then we got the Nemesis system in again the Shadow of War game. So it all kind of panned out. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think the Nemesis system in a game like Batman would thrive very, very well. But I also am not really married to video games that are based off of movies, even though it's like Batman. It's like Batman isn't really. He's a character first, movie second. I'm just like, I don't like the restrictions. I don't like the being like, oh man, this Harvey Dent looks like just like the actor from the movie. But a Nemesis system Batman would have been stupid.
Honestly. But yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the next quick bite here. So when it comes to Call of Duty, and specifically Modern Warfare Zombies, who hasn't had the best go of it this iteration of Call of Duty, we got some news that Treyarch have confirmed that their whole team has moved on from developing Modern Warfare Zombies, and they're moving on to the next game, and Sledgehammer will finish up development on the remaining Modern Warfare Zombie story, content, all that good stuff. So my question is, what were they expecting to gain when they promoted Treyarch to be developing the story for Modern Warfare Zombies? This is like, this is like an Avengers moment for the whole Call of Duty community. They said Treyarch was working on Zombies. We had some Infinity War people. We had Sledgehammer that was working on games as well. It was all hands on deck. And now, the game didn't peter out. The Zombies mode wasn't great at all. Wasn't good at all, in my opinion. And they just dipped out midway. How do you feel about all that?
Wow, Call of Duty being underwhelming. It's almost like it's every year. So I genuinely do wish that fucking Treyarch would have left Zombies in after Black Ops 2. Like, I wish they would have just like left Call of Duty in general and just made their own zombie game. Because I know of a few friends of mine, shout outs to my scruffy white boy friends, they love Zombies. That's like their shit. They fucking swear by it. I've played Zombies. I enjoy it a lot. I would have preferred I would play a $20 zombie games. And I think I've seen like modded versions of Zombies around like the net. I'm not too tapped in to the community, but I think they could have just straight up went and did their own thing. I hate that it's kind of connected to Call of Duty at this point, because I'm sure a lot of people hate having to spend $70 for one game mode. But like Treyarch, truly, they could just be like, yo, we're gonna skip out. We're gonna make our own game similar to Zombies. I'm sure they can't call it Call of Duty Zombies, but they could probably call it Undead Nights or whatever the fuck, and just do their own thing and make it like $20-$30. And I'm sure a lot of the community would tap in, especially if you keep the Easter eggs. Because I don't know what bigger strings are being pulled from the top down on Treyarch's side. Like what are people doing that's stopping them from being great? But I genuinely feel like they could cook if they had their own freedom. But bringing them in to fix somebody else's issue, like, I feel like that's such a Call of Duty thing. Like, if you're working with Call of Duty and you make it, let's say you just like, hey man, we just finished making our Call of Duty, you guys have fun making yours, we get a little break. They're like, actually no, we need to bring you in because these motherfuckers suck. And it's like, all right, cool, fuck our break, I guess. Like, they shouldn't. I also don't think we need this many zombies. I also think that they could take a break. We don't need this many zombies. The beauty of it was that it was a one game mode in World at War. And then when everybody went to the new game, World at War still had some mileage because you had that new game. But like making it in every single game now, it's like, for all that, just make it its own game and let people just play that. Like, I just don't think that it needs to be attached to every single. Like, I know you guys want to sell units, but let's make a good game. Let's work on that. And I think that'll sell units. Maybe I'm wrong.
Make a good game. Now we got money to make, brother. We ain't got no time for that. What are you talking about? Here's that, bro. Again, zombies should have never been in anything else besides Black Ops in the first place. Let's get that corrected and straight. They tried to copy it with Call of Duty Ghosts and the Extraction, or the alien mode, whatever. It wasn't Extraction, it was something else. But that whole alien
in
mode.
Modern Warfare 3, or are you talking about?
No, in Call of Duty Ghosts. In Ghost, they tried to do that. They did the alien thing to try and have a zombies thing when they could have just stuck with Spec Ops the whole way through. They got rid of Spec Ops to just do another zombie light mode or zombie copy mode, which again, you're just trying to stretch out the value of what zombies did for people, and that's that's not going to end up well. Spec Ops was always fun. Spec Ops was always fun. Doing a co-op, it was even better. You know what I'm saying? So them removing that in place of zombies was not good, and then they threw Spec Ops back in on top of everything else, but they didn't show it proper love. And that thing went to shit. And just with Modern Warfare 3 skipping forward, you guys advertised again Treyarch to really be there, but you just reskinned a mode from Modern Warfare 2 Remake, and then you just put zombie stuff in it, and you put the ray gun, you put their assets and stuff in it, but shit ain't really cohesive. I didn't see anything. Again, the theories, the Easter eggs and stuff like that were very minimal, you know what I'm saying, solvable, not impactful in the least compared to what was in the past. And it just looked like an add-on, tacked on, bro. No actual love or time shown to that mode, and it was to the detriment of the entire delivery, the entire full package, in my opinion. Nobody really cared about it. In the end, you had Mr. Rothwaffle. Shout out Mr. Rothwaffle was one of the biggest zombies creators I've ever seen. I used to be on Call of Duty Zombies heavy because I love the theories. I love the people crafting, like, solving ciphers and stuff like that. Even he was like, yo, this shit is ass. Shit is dead. So that should already tell you what's going on. And Treyarch leaving this midway should even tell you more, that this whole cycle that they try to employ for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 got cooked. It was cooked, will forever be cooked. And now they just got to damage control what was left. People were promised zombies content. They're getting half-ass content in the end. It sucks, but what more can I expect from Call of Duty at this point? What more? Tough. Let's move on to the next story here. Let's talk about Mother Russia. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Mother Russia, because we heard some rumors that Russia was looking into developing a video game console. You know, just from word and news, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, they halted sales in Russia. So the Russian government, Vladimir Putin, they've had an order out apparently to start looking into console development for themselves, and just interesting. Just very, very interesting, man. What's going on with that one?
Man, as much as I would love the KGBA or the Putin station,
KGBA,
I mean, hey, do what you got to do, you know? Like, I think that's what sucks, is like the people who, like, you know, don't want to be at war, and they're just like, hey, man, I just want to play video games, but like, you wanted to go to war, so now we're kind of cooked. Like, I feel bad for them, but it's like, damn, son, like, I understand why PlayStation is like, yo, you're making it hot right now, bro. We can't send shit your way, bro. Like, come on. Why you gotta kill motherfuckers? You know, why don't you just relax? I think that'd be cool if y'all just chilled, but I don't know what they gonna cook up. I really don't know what console they gonna cook up. I'm sure they could probably get a couple Ubisoft games on that shit though. For real. I'm sure they could probably get some ports over, you know?
Hey man, get that quadruple A gaming, brother. You know what time it is, man. Skull and Bones, man. Skull and Bones at Russia, the big link up. Yeah. It's so terrible. That shit is so ass. It's so bad. Oh my goodness. This is my 2 cents on this, guys. All right, don't waste all of your money trying to develop a brand new console. Let's look at history, guys. You have a very good console that was overshadowed in time. You just need to employ the services of one Soldier Boy and get the Soldier Station to Russia, man. Let's get the Soldier Station to Russia and let's make some magic, baby. I'm ready for this. I don't know if you're ready for that. I'm ready for this, man. Let's get make Mother Russia game again, baby. That's what
just like get Mr. Tellum on the line.
Facts. 6 7 8 7 9 8 2 1 2. You know his number. Just go look at the song. He has your number on, like, it's right there. I listen, man. Vladimir, you need to get tapped in, bro. I don't know what's up with you, dog. You need to really lock in if you want to get on this game and shit, man. That's all I'm saying. we can move on to another topic though. Let's talk about Windblown. Windblown is a brand new co-op roguelite, again, from the people who made Dead Cells. So Dead Cells team, they're on a roll. Again, they're doing the Dead Cells, again, just lineage is doing a lot of great things. Procedurally generated worlds, a lot of, again, different actions and viewpoints of roguelites. Look like some bullet hell stuff was in there as well. I'm like yeah. it just looks super cool. When would you make of it?
I think it looked pretty dope. I want to play it really badly. It looks right up my alley. I'm interested to see, because every time you die and you come back, the character throws up. I wonder if there's like an aspect to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if there's a reason for that. So I am excited to see what this game looks like, plays like, but it looks like so much fun. And I can only imagine how much fun it's going to be, especially in co-op.
Yeah. 100%. Like, I like the blink, that blinking feature, like the little dash thing. It just looks so cool. The visuals are, again, they pop, look really dope. I enjoy that. I wonder what the customization is going to look like exactly, but from what I'm seeing, I love it. The art style, the environments, the kind of like the just the battle spaces that you have to traverse through. All of it looks really cool. The combat looks dope. Bosses look really daunting. And you put it in a co-op bow. You already know me. I'm an absolute whore for co-op stuff. So you put it in there, and you know, listen, I think this is bound to be a good time. This is bound to be a good time. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes out for Windblown. 100. All right, so we can push on to a rumor that we heard about that talked about Minecraft. Minecraft could potentially be going to the PS5. What do you think about that one?
So let me just confirm something here. It's not on PlayStation right now?
I don't believe so.
Interesting.
A native version.
Okay. So like it would have its own, like, so there'd be like the way like Java and like Bedrock. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The PS4 version is on there, but like there's no like its own instance on PS5.
Yeah.
You have to go back to PS4 to go grab it.
Interesting. They finna make that shit ass on purpose. Yep. They finna make that shit. That's just gonna be 2D. They're gonna put, actually, I was gonna say they're gonna put Terraria on there, but I'd actually appreciate Terraria on there. That should be kind of gas. Terraria is a good game. Man, fuck Minecraft. Let's just play Terraria. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's funny as shit. But nah, shout outs to them, I suppose. You know, like what I wouldn't expect too much as a like if you're a PlayStation fan, I wouldn't expect too much from them boys, because they could easily hoe you guys. But I also can't, like, at the end of the day, they would still get money from it. So like, why would they purposefully put out a bad product? I wonder how it's gonna operate though. Like, are you still gonna be connected? Because I think it's like connected to the Microsoft Store to buy shit, like those like packs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which, man, Minecraft, having to pay for skins and shit in Minecraft, ew, you know, like that. I mean, you don't really have to. There's ways around it, but like they really kind of fuck that shit up. But anyways, I'm not into Minecraft like that. I love survival games, but Minecraft is the one that I actually don't like. And I hope the PlayStation community is happy with it though. Like, you know, y'all can cook. Is this a little too late because Lego Fortnite's already out? We don't know. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the questions. Like, Lego Fortnite is out. It's basically Fortnite. Like, not Fortnite. It's basically Minecraft. Are they gonna steal? Are they gonna capitalize on that group of people who's already playing something else? Time will tell.
Good question. Yeah. Listen, Microsoft has a license to print money on several accounts, and Minecraft is definitely one of them. They drop it anywhere, it's gonna make some money. It's gonna do some extra things. So I maybe the holdup was just like from understanding the support aspects, so, you know, like the 4Ks, the graphical output from Minecraft. Maybe just understanding that might have been the holdup, but I can definitely see this being a thing, and it will be on the way. That seems like a shoe in for them, and they gonna get their guap. Xbox gonna get their guap off this stuff, and Minecraft is old enough to where it didn't have to be an exclusive to anything anymore. It'll still just make money. It's that much of a giant, so you know, it is what it is. I was a Minecraft person at one point. I definitely had my little, you know, say I paid my $27. I had that little Minecraft pass, and I was getting it in back in the day. But it's Minecraft. What do you want me to say, people? It's Minecraft. It's going to make money despite itself, and Xbox put it on PS5 natively. It's just a smart move. Simple.
Yeah. I also think it's really interesting because, like,
who the fuck is playing Minecraft in 4K? Like, what's like if that's really the holdup?
Don't doubt them texture packs, brother. Don't doubt them texture packs.
You know what?
Right?
You're right. I have seen them and they are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. But I'm just like, yo, imagine sitting there like, man, we really got to figure out this 4K shit on the Minecraft. Like when I played Minecraft, it wasn't for the graphics, but hey, you know, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, man, it's just different. It's different. But it's time to talk about Stellar Blade. We again, the Stellar Blade demo was released over the past week and change. Outside of the you know, legion of weird people just, you know what I'm saying, going crazy over some cheeks, you know what I'm saying, act like I've been here before, respect to the cheeks, but like, damn, y'all, chill out. The demo was out. It did get a chance to have some hands-on gameplay of it. When, from what you've seen, any quick thoughts on it?
I keep waiting for my girlfriend to leave the room for me to play it. I guess that's like my big it's like no, no, it looks pretty. The combat looks really dope. It's just like one of those games where it's like, hey man, I'm playing it for the gameplay type of thing. That's what it feels like. But no, the game looks stupid. It reminds me of Nier, but sexier, which is
that's crazy.
A statement. Like that's really like the best way to describe it. Is like it's a really good action adventure game. Excited to get the full. Excited for regular reasons to get my hands on the full game. But I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a really good PlayStation title.
Yeah, unlike most of you sick bastards, I'll have both hands on my controller. Thank you very much while I play this game. I had a chance to sit down with the demo and play through it and look at it. Honestly, the world was a little bit, you know what I'm saying, like, I guess more mute colors. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I noticed. Like nothing really popped out as crazy, which is cool. I'm not mad at that. It just looked, again, like super dystopian, which was, again, maybe a little bit different than what I was expecting with some of the set pieces and stuff that I saw. But I liked the characters. They actually look pretty cool. I'm curious to learn more about how, like, you know, they're training, just why they're even fighting this fight to some extent. But the enemies looked really cool. I actually like the enemy character design, the variance in the enemies as well. I thought that looked really good. Attack patterns and stuff like that. They really did not skimp around on what you could possibly face. I saw at least 3 or 4 different enemy types throughout this first little patch of demo, which I thought was really cool. Little like mini bosses and little side characters that are hold down, give you 1v1s. There's a lot of ways to approach combat in this game, which is very interesting. Again, you have the perfect dodges, the parries, the punishments, there's so many different ways to attack the situation. And I had my gameplay of the boss of the demo, which is like on a parking garage rooftop, and I was just kind of going straight, you know what I'm saying, regular. I was doing my little dodges here. I was getting hit by lightning things. I was like, bro, I'm getting, you know, Elden Ring flashbacks a little bit. You remind me of like Radagon and shit. Like, chill out, bro. But yeah, you know, I got my piece. I got through it. But I was very interested to see how other people approach it, because there was so many different ways. Again, you could just, again, perfect parry, do punishes. Again, your other skills that you have in your back pocket when you hold L1 and have a button input. Really cool. Overall, the gameplay feel, I wish it was a little bit smoother. I feel like for me blocking to attacking, the speed of it doesn't feel as flowy as maybe a Nier Automata, you know, again, or other JRPGs that are in that vein of, you know, pure action, heavy combat, swordplay, all that good stuff. Maybe a little bit slower on that front, but still pretty good, still serviceable. The gameplay I actually did overall enjoy. The platforming I had a little bit of trouble with because I was like, I don't know what the hell. Some of these, like, just the accuracy of some of my movements, I was falling offside a couple times. Allow me, all right, I was getting used to it. But I like the exploring. There was good backtracking in there. A lot of different little side things you can do, like little codes that you can find on other people, dead bodies and stuff. Explore. You can do underwater sections, which I thought was really good. Overall, I think for me, if this game goes on sale, I'm gonna cop it. I wouldn't jump day one to grab it, but I think this is something that will be a solid experience. I think this will be a solid like 7.5 out of 10 for a lot of people. 7.5, and just, you know, just be a really enjoyable game for what it is.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the when I picked up Nier, I think I picked up Nier for my girlfriend, and I honestly played it more than she did, because I was like, damn, this game is actually really good. I think it's a genuine, like, solid game if you're looking for something that's like action oriented, or just like an action adventure type of game. But is it going to be is it a needle mover like a God of War? I guess if you're into big titties and butts, it might be, but
In fact, I'm like, and bro, let's not get twisted. I am, but I don't know if I'm looking for that in a video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know. I don't know if that's my only like, what's the word for it? That's not what I'm looking for when I play video games.
This not my MO, brother. It's not my MO. You know what I mean? If they show up somewhere along the way, like, oh shit, I ain't knows here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not expressly looking out for it like some folks out there. All right, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta really chill. But it's still overall, again, looks pretty solid. Can't complain that. Yeah, all right, cool. We can shift gears and talk about Eternal Strands. This is a brand new third-person action adventure game with a heavy Shadow of the Colossus, Monster Hunter vibes. Just there's a lot of stuff going on here. Elemental, like physics manipulation powers, and we also have Mike Laidlaw, who led a lot of the Dragon Age games. He is again a lead producer, a lead creator on this project as well. When your thoughts on what you saw from Eternal Strands?
This shit looks really fun. Like that's like that's I think is a really good place to be in for video games. Is like if somebody sees your game and they're like, yo, this is fun, then we're in the money. We are in the money.
Facts.
Like that was the first thing I said when I saw it. I'm like, this looks like like something different, something refreshing. One of my favorite things to do in Dragon's Dogma is climbing on top of the monster. That's why I picked the Rogue class. I literally was like, oh, I can climb on shit. Yeah, I'm picking Rogue because I need all the stamina because I'm gonna be climbing on top of shit and stabbing it in the face. So something to that extent looks really enjoyable. Can't wait to play this game when it fully drops. But like even just like that first segment that they showed where like where they climb on top of like that giant titan and just stab them in the back of the neck, I was like, damn, this is kind of hard. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, I like this shit.
Yeah.
What stood out to me was definitely the elemental powers and the physics kind of manipulation powers that you have. Like you can literally, like the giants that you can climb on top of, you can actually you're able to stop them in real time with like, I don't know if it was like a bubble or like a glue power or whatever, but it literally like the character sprayed it on the monster as he's walking through and stopped him in his tracks, was able to get on and get somewhere with it. So I really like that. You can build bridges with those powers as well, kind of accessing different things and solving different problems in the environment with those powers. I really like that. That was probably my favorite part of what I saw from the footage. But this looks fun. Anything where you can climb big ass monsters and smack them in the back of their necks, I'm here for. So I'm very much excited about this. I can't wait to see what they reveal continually about this down the line. Yeah, this is solid work. I need to see more.
Facts. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
100. All right, let's talk about some all-time rankings, man. There was a whole list of I guess the most iconic characters from gaming's history according to BAFTA. So please, you know what I'm saying, allow me, let's just recognize where the source is coming from. It's coming from BAFTA. It's from, again, to Film and TV Awards, from again, Great Britain, the UK, and all that stuff like that. So there's temperate expectation. I'll go through a relative list here. I'll just give you some of the highlights of it. So the top 5, well, there's a round. The top 5 is Sackboy as number 5 from Little Big Planet, Sonic number 4, number 3 Agent 47 from Hitman, number 2 Mario, and number 1 is Lara Croft. So just from your recollection and viewpoint of this list, when accurate? No, not accurate.
I think it's very inaccurate. No disrespect to Lara Croft. Oh, come on. Like over Mario? Word?
This is what I'm talking about, the horniness in gaming, bro. How many people was aroused by these triangle titties, bro? Let's talk about this. Let's really get into the depth of this here. Because one, it was Stellar Blade before, and now it's Lara Croft on this list. What's going on in the UK, brother? What's happening in the UK?
Over Mario is just kind of...
Over Mario?
That's kind of bananas, you know, when you really think about it. Like, that's a choice. No? You know, like, that's a bit of a choice.
Very much a choice.
And on top of that, like, again, not to be an asshole here, I like Agent 47. If you put a picture of Agent 47 next to a picture of Pikachu, who do you think people are going to recognize more?
I think the electric rat. Just me.
And I might even take this a step further. If you put a picture of Agent 47 next to a picture of Pac-Man, you know, like, you know what I'm saying?
The yellow ball that eats smaller yellow balls, I think he's a little bit more recognizable, just slightly. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit. You know what I mean?
Also, I like some of the Little Planet games.
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck did Sackboy have iconic? Word?
Hey, I'm a not. I can't disrespect Little Big Planet the games because those are classic games.
Top 10?
But
Sure.
Sackboy anywhere near this list. Let's be real. I'm sorry. And again, this is not like the most iconic characters today. The most iconic characters over the past 10 years. This is an all-time list. This is an all-time list, and I'm seeing Agent 47. I'm seeing Sackboy. I'm seeing Shadowheart and Asterion, which again, listen. No disrespect to Baldur's Gate 3. There's no disrespect. You know this podcast gives reverence to Baldur's Gate 3. But what do they have to do with iconic characters when they just pulled up in the mainstream last year? They were just here in the mainstream last year. Video games, they just pulled up. They have nothing to do with this list. Not at all. Cause I'm a Kiryu, I might give him a pass on that. I think he might make top 25. You know what I'm saying? He might be a little bit below, but I'm not mad at that.
Ryu from Street Fighter not being on this list is bananas.
Ridiculous. Where is Ryu? That makes no sense. How is Arthur Morgan 11, but John Marston is not on this list? In my opinion, I think that's weird. That's just me though.
That is you. You know.
Whatever. I'm gonna take my shot at Red Dead Redemption. I'm gonna take my shot. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, even at some point, John Marshall was in both games or whatever. But no, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. I just think this list is crazy.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
This list is very much a choice, man. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to make of this. Y'all are bugging. UK, I love y'all, but this list is bananas.
Also, the fact that they put Crash Bandicoot on here at 15 and Solid Snake at 14, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all didn't have to do that for anybody. Like, yeah, if y'all really didn't fuck with him like that, y'all have to. But like, we're not gonna sit here and act like Steve being above Solid Snake makes sense. Steve being above Pikachu being above Steve makes sense. Arthur Morgan and Shadowheart being above Solid Snake and Crash Bandicoot. All right,
Like it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And again, what are we doing?
The only one that I think is okay is maybe Link at 7. And the only reason I say that is because people see Link, but a lot of people for a long ass time called them Zelda. So like, if y'all were like, nobody even knew his name, I'm like, that's valid. That's
fair. His name wasn't even on the masthead, bruh. His name wasn't even on the masthead. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Master Chief. I'm not mad at Pac-Man and Sonic being in the top 10. Again, Lara Croft, she has to be lower. She has to be like 9, 10, 11. She needs to swap spots with Shadowheart, and then she needs to be taken off or swap spots with Kratos, and Shadowheart still be getting out of here.
She wasn't even like the biggest face of raiding tombs in like an entire generation for a while. Like
she was out the cut for a minute though, and again she's
still this day the brand ain't still that strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's iconic, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like she's not. Top 10. We can make the argument. We can have the conversation.
She can absolutely be top 10. I will give her number 10 all day.
I will give her number 10. Number 10. That's funny. That's funny as it.
Serious.
I won't say that. I'll let y'all have the conversation. That's the most I can give you. Is I'll let you have the conversation. But over Crash Bandicoot?
I hate Crash Bandicoot as a franchise, as a thing, but putting him that low is still kind of crazy.
As a Bandicoot.
As a Bandicoot, his whole anatomy I don't like, but literally him that low is kind of crazy. And that's just, there's just so many wrongs to this. Where's Ezio? Where's Ezio from Assassin's Creed? Again, it's been a minute since he's been around, but still his name hold weight more than Asterion, more than most of the time, the bottom half.
Where the fuck is Rayman? No, I'm kidding. Even I know that Rayman's not making this list. Like, if I saw Ezio over Rayman, I'd be pissed, but I'd understand. I'd be like, nah, I get it, I guess.
Hey, listen, we go sneak it in there like the Westbrook meme with the popcorn on the side.
I would have put it in this list, but I would have had no. They're like, where you get that information from? Sources.
Yeah, just sources say. You know, it is the streets were talking.
But what street? And it's like, in Broad, maybe.
All in all, BAFTA, y'all are bugging, man. Y'all gotta hold that one. I don't know what y'all was doing.
BAFTA's is soon, right? Maybe this was like, hey, marketing team going stupid.
Yeah, maybe this is promo.
Team going stupid.
Let me check. When is the BAFTAs, man? Actually, wait a minute. Bastards are
soon,
now.
isn't it?
No, it's
Yeah,
happening as we
exactly.
speak. It's literally the red carpet's on now. You sick bastards. You're sick. You're sick. You're sick.
They're smart. They're smart. They're smart.
Oh, that's so evil. Oh, that's so evil. The BAFTA Game Awards are literally like today. Oh my gosh. This is bullshit. Oh, y'all sick. Y'all sick people. Y'all sick people. Anyways, we're gonna move on, not give no more promo. This is crazy. It's crazy. Y'all sick men. Let's talk about a quick stat line that we got from just general statistics and stuff like that. I forgot the foundation I was running it. It was an article from VGC that talked about consumers playing mostly older games in 2023, and it was data from Newzoo, I believe, an industry report from Newzoo that showed that most gamers, 60% of the games that are being played are 6 years or older. 6 years old or older. So people are, oh my gosh, I don't even want to say it out loud, but like all the Gamergate 2.0 people was talking about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people were talking about it of like, oh man, because gaming got wokeified, it's the DEI era, blah blah blah. But in earnest, bro, what do you think of the stat line and people playing mostly older games at this stage?
People are broke, myself included. I'm very broke. I'm just like, man, do I want to spend $70 on a new game, or do I want to work on that backlog? I'm gonna just choose to work on that backlog. I don't think there's any real there's no real political reason behind it at all. I think like some people just like shit that it just isn't replicated these days. It's definitely not the wokeness for me. I absolutely love the wokeness. I wish I had more wokeness in games.
Type shit.
but no, I think just people just don't have like there's a lot of games that people need to go back and beat. Like I downloaded Control. Like I'm really excited to go tap into that game because I didn't get a chance to when it first dropped. And old games are cheap. Old games are free these days. Like you could play fucking Control, like Trip just said, Outer Worlds was free on Epic.
Facts.
Of course I'm gonna go play that shit. It's a good game that and the thing is too is that graphics in the last 6 years have advanced incredibly, but we're not at a point where like you're going from like 2D to 3D, right? Like you're going from really good. Yeah, like you're going from good graphics to fucking Unreal. But good graphics are still good graphics. I'm still gonna play a good graphics game. So if I'm playing something along the lines of like, if I'm going back and playing Bayonetta, because I never got to play Bayonetta, it's still a good game. It's still a fun game. If I'm going back to playing fucking Binary Domain, it's still a good game. Like those games don't die because you're not playing them, especially single player games. Those bad boys, shit. Like I know a lot of people who went back to play Alan Wake 1 because Alan Wake 2 dropped. It just makes sense, and it's also it's when you don't think of everything of having to play the newest shit every single day, you can really start enjoying the hobby a lot more because you can be like, yo,
Facts.
I want to tap into a game that I haven't played in a long ass time. Like if I was to be like, yo, hey, I want you to play, let me look up like
and
let me look up like Death Stranding.
Yeah,
how much
while he
is this
looks
shit?
that up, I will note that again with Alan Wake 2 on Epic Games Store, they provided a free copy of Alan Wake 1, I believe, and the DLC or something like that. Some combination where they had the old game in addition to the new, so they're adding value on top of it. So there's a lot of places for you to jump back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if I was to be like, yo, Trip, I would love for you to try out Death Stranding, the collector's edition that came out 2 years ago. It's like, oh, it's how much is it full price right now? $40, which is a lot easier than a $70 game that just came out the other day. Or if I wanted to be like, hey man, have you played Dragon's Dogma 2? Like, nah, man, I haven't played number 1. It's like, well, if you go and play Dragon's Dogma on Steam right now, it's like, oh, you can get Dark Arisen for $30, and that's not on sale. Like you wait for a sale, you're getting this shit for $10, $15. Like that's just, old games aren't bad. So I 100% think it's just like, hey, I don't have $70 to play new shit, or maybe I played the new shit that I want to play and I'm gonna go tap back into some old shit. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And there's just a teeny tiny little skew of you know what I'm saying, I guess evidence here. I don't want to burst anybody's bubble about DEI stuff, but Fortnite is older than 6 years old, dumbasses. Like bro, that's like
that
40,
counts.
that's 40% of the 60%. That's literally the majority of that whole thing of what gamers played the most. That counts. That literally is the majority of what people are doing. It's literally number one on the most average games played on every market. PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, number one. It is number one. And under that, Across, you have Roblox, which is way older than 6 years old. It's a whole live service continuing, live game. Grand Theft Auto 5 RP, it's a 10-year-old game online. It's gonna be, keep going that way. Call of Duty, who cares? Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on Switch, that's fine. That's a whole separate thing. It's a little bit younger, but you're seeing the major pattern the further you go down. You see these games that are ongoing, that have never stopped giving updates. These are live service in and of itself, and they've taken on a huge following just because of what they are. Again, Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, GTA RP, Counter-Strike, what's it called? The Sims. Like, these are most games that are by now are free.
Sims 4,
free and free to play, and have been for years, and have garnered millions and millions of player base because they've been that way, continually have provided content. League of Legends, again, it's been there for years.
Yeah, that's just been since 2009.
Apex is almost 5 years old, 6 years old now. Like, it's almost on the fringe right there, but I won't count that. Rocket League, damn near a decade old, went free to play like a couple years ago, and now it's there. These games are just free and easy to access, and they're popular because they're free to play and they provide good content on top of it. That's the majority of what it is. There's no everything else, every other narrative is bullshit to me, because you cannot tell me that you see these games that everybody's playing. They're the easiest to access when you open up these game stores and saying, oh, yeah, it's probably the woke agenda why people are playing older games. No, dummy, because these games are old. What do you mean? Just because they come up with new updates does not mean that they're a new game. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to believe, you can believe what you believe, but like, again, that's not gonna solve your problems.
It's not.
Like, at the end of the day, it's not gonna solve your problems.
It's not,
like,
brother.
Like, racism is not your savior. We could get the most racist gaming companies in the world today. I promise you, you're still gonna hate the games you play. You're still gonna be like, damn, why the fuck does this game suck still? And it's like, ah, man, because it was never about race. It's about money. And the fact that you guys are paying attention to the wrong people, you're paying attention to the wrong things. That's what they want. They want you to not care about microtransactions. They want you to care about the wokeness in video games, so that when eventually if your grand scheme works out, you're still gonna get fucking screwed. Like, you're still gonna get screwed.
Like, duh. Come on, y'all.
Have fun with that, I guess.
Tighten up, dummies. Tighten up. But that's all we got for the quick bites. Not too bad of a run for the first time out. Not too bad of a run. You know what I'm saying? Covered a lot of ground. I was like damn near 10 stories or something like that. That's all stuff. Rate this 5 stars, baby. We're doing marathons now. We're doing marathons. We're doing sprints. We're all over the place, man. Get us to the podcast Olympics prelims. We're here. We're here. But let's get to the rest of these regular stories for the week. Let's talk about news that the Ubisoft Forward event, the announcement, is going to be set for June 10th. The event will be set for June 10th, and it'll have new game updates, new feature announcements come from LA. Again, in the heat of what's it called, E3 season, as it were. And we talked about Xbox earlier in this show having an important task to do, an important statement to make when it comes to this summer and the games that they drop. How do you feel about Ubisoft's spot and what they might need to show?
I want Rayman. I don't care about anything else. I want Rayman. I don't even know. Like, I don't know what they're gonna announce. I don't know what they're gonna show. But if it's not Rayman, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can get some Splinter Cell. Would be cool. It would be cool. Some people would really enjoy some Splinter Cell. Me personally, I would enjoy some Rayman. But hey, to each their own. I really hate that we're not doing these events still. But it's just one of those things where I don't want to waste my time. That's my biggest fear, is like, we're gonna sit through 10 hours of like, we're gonna sit like 10 hours of like Just Dance videos.
Oh gosh.
Like,
oh gosh.
Yeah, like I don't want that, man. I really don't want to have to sit there and be like, oh sick, we're gonna see the next Just Dance. It's like, oh, Bruno Mars is on it? Fucking gas. That's awesome. Can we get something else? No, we're just gonna. This is what we're gonna get. Cool. Like, there's only one streamer who this really applies to. She already makes enough money as it is. And Just Dance is not having a new Just Dance isn't gonna change the viewership. People are still gonna watch her regardless. But hey, to each their own. To each their own.
Oh man. Ubisoft. Ubisoft. You've done almost everything in your power to make me not believe in what you can do over the past several years overall. You know, you're giving green lights to some good stuff like the new Prince of Persia game that we got at the top of the year, but a lot of other things have not gone well. Again, we've said this before, we've said this multiple times. Ubisoft is on thin ice. They're still on thin ice. They will always be on thin ice at this point because of what they've done over the past couple of years, and that's not changing anytime soon. If there's anybody outside of Xbox that needs some type of get back, some type of readjustment back on the right path, it's Ubisoft, man. It's Ubisoft. They are out of it, and they have so many IPs that are in flux right now, and I think they need that injection. Listen, I'm not saying Rayman, because I don't believe that they can even, you know what I'm saying, work with that. But let's talk about it. First and foremost, Beyond Good and Evil 2, is that even a thing anymore? Let's really keep a stack. Is Beyond Good and Evil 2 even a game? Is it even happening? Can we get some confirmation of life and death? That's number one. That would be great to check on, because I think it's almost been a decade. It's been at least 8 years. It's been at least 6 to 8 years. Please fact check this for me while I rant, when please, because I just want to know if I'm on the money or not, because I'm pretty sure it's been like, damn, it has to have been at least 6-7 years since we heard about Beyond Good and Evil 2. Let's see. Let's talk about the most important thing that I need is where's Splinter Cell? Where's Splinter Cell? Where is Splinter Cell? That is one game. That is one remake. That is one IP. Wow. You cannot.
This shit got announced. No way. This is a 2008 announcement. There was another
that
one.
was an early one. Yeah, that was an early announcement. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the one after that.
2018, I believe.
Okay, that's still 6 years, but that's.
But this isn't the first. I don't think this is the first trailer. I think this is like.
Yeah, there might have been an update one. Yeah.
No, wait. This looks like the first trailer.
Jeez, I know there was an early one in like 2008 and stuff like that. They got pushed way back. Like, that's disgusting in and of its own right. It's been all closer to 20 years than it has been to none. That's disgusting. But while I get back on the track of Splinter Cell, you cannot fuck up. Please, for all that is holy in the world, do not fuck that up. This is me speaking here, bro. You have to make that as gritty, as true to life as the original was, and set up properly, because I know they're gonna try and want to again push out the IP as much as possible. Tom Clancy's done enough. His IP's done enough. Can you do right by him? We don't need you know what I'm saying, X Defiance name treading all over it, bruh. Let's just make Splinter Cell great. Let's make Splinter Cell fantastic. That's what I need primarily. But also for their sake, for the general, general welfare of their brand, they need to talk about Assassin's Creed Red, Assassin's Creed Japan. They need to have a release date or release window, something about it, or else I think that window may be fully gone, because PlayStation will eventually talk about Ghost of Tsushima 2, and I think those will have some type of adverse effect on each other in some way, shape, or form, unfortunately. But they need to talk about Assassin's Creed Red. I don't know if they're doing another Wildlands or Tom Clancy, not the Splinter Cell one, but it was something else. The Division Heartland.
Yeah.
The Division, yeah. Sorry, a new Divisions game. I don't know if they're gonna drop that. That will be great, because Division, the last one wasn't really gripping people the way it should have. Confused about where that may lie, so wondering about that. And what else would be there? Maybe I don't care for another Far Cry, but I bet there's gonna be another Far Cry announcement at some point.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. If there's any information on that, any little update will be good, considering that the IP started to again grow more steam now with the game you dropped earlier this year, with the Dead Cells inspired or the Dead Cells produced game. There's a lot of room for that IP to grow, so any signs of life on the remake would be great. Outside of that, like there's nothing. I don't care. Please get Just Dance away from me. If it's not a DDR pad, I don't want to dance. That's my motto in life. I'm not dancing unless I see a DDR pad. That's facts. But yeah, everything else is just, they gotta show up and prove. Everything they do is show up and prove. They're on Xbox level, if not beyond. After Skull and Bones, after Watch Dogs Legion, after, you know what I'm saying, like Mirage was solid, but it didn't do enough in the general public's eye. Like, they're fighting from underneath. They've been fighting from underneath for several years now, and I think they have to show up and prove, or else, again, if things don't hit, it could be a very grim story for them. Right. But what's it called? Oh wait, did you get to check on how long it's been since?
I think it's 2017 was when it was announced.
Blood of Jesus.
Yeah, 2017 was when it was announced, and yeah, there's just been like a couple new words here and there, but like there's no. At this point, we should have got a release date. It's 2024. That was like, if it was in 2017, then that's what 3 + 4, 7 years in development.
Bro,
that game is gonna be awful if it drops.
Almost 2 presidential terms later, we still haven't gotten anything about that game. If you want to count the original sequel thing, it's literally been 16 years since 08. It's literally been 16 years. That's
to the point where they could have just remastered one. They should have just at this point they should just remaster one and then like reset the expectation. Be like, oh, we remastered one. It looks a lot better. It plays a lot better, and then people will play and be like, oh man, now I understand why people like it, and then just reset everybody's like, because then you'll satiate some of the hunger, but not all of it. You know?
Yeah. But
I don't think we're gonna get anything huge out of this though. Like, I'm not really holding my breath for the EA Forward. I really still think that these events should be no longer than 30 minutes if it's just one fucking company.
You hold your breath so hard, you got the wrong company. You say EA is the Ubisoft Forward.
Oh my bad. I'm sorry. They all do the same shit at the same time, but don't want to be associated with one another. It's annoying. It just feels like a waste of time because it's like, oh, sick. So we're spending more time on this than we really needed to. But excited to hear about the next Assassin's Creed game. That's gonna be awesome, I guess.
I mean, they better hope. They better hope it's awesome for their sake. I tell you that much, bro. Or else they're looking down the barrel of some serious shit. But speaking of Ubisoft, I did want to separate this a little bit because we got some more details. Let's talk about Star Wars Outlaws. We got the brand new story trailer this week, and a lot of details have dropped concerning what we're going to get into, what the story is going to be about. Again, just looking at expansion and traversal across a lot of different recognizable places, as well as some new ones. You know, the Tatooine, Akiva. A lot of Star Wars fans know that, and then new crafted areas like Tashara. They're really trying to create a lot of dense city impact. A lot of really explorable areas, a lot of life in the areas that you visit. Some really cool story things with the underbelly of just the Empire, with all the different criminal organizations you can run into and interact with. There's a reputation system in there, which again, different missions and activities that you get into will impact your score across those things. You have your companion with you, Nyx, that can be distract guards. A lot of stealth gameplay in there, a lot of upgradable sections, a lot of upgradable pieces that open up explorable sections. A lot of cool new stuff that's introduced, but with the story beats kind of laid down a little bit and some of the gameplay expanded upon. How you feeling now about Star Wars Outlaws?
It looks really cool. Gameplay still looks a little kind of whatever, but I don't think that's really it. I think it will it'll hit the right market. Like, it doesn't need to be super fast paced, super flashy for it to be fun. But I do think that all these added story elements give it a lot more weight. So if it's something like, oh, I feel like the gameplay is lacking in some kind of capacity, I still have at least the knowledge that all this stuff kind of matters. It just they have to just give all these, like, working with the factions has to actually be very meaningful, like it has to make you really, really question what you want to get done, or why you want to take this mission on, why you want to do this, that, and the third. I am still hesitant, but I do think that this is something that will be really dope to experience, because it's very different from your like Jedi Survivors, your oh my god, Force Unleashed, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
Like, I still think it'll be really dope, but like, I want to see a little bit more gameplay. The gameplay they showed us wasn't awful, like it wasn't bad, like, but it just seemed kind of just your run-of-the-mill Ubisoft third-person shooter. Like, it just didn't really wow me. I wasn't sitting there like, I can't wait to dive into this game. But if the story and the reputation system is dope, then honestly it may be enough for some people who don't really care about fast-paced action. They just want a good story, a good Star Wars story.
Yeah. My thing is, on two sides, I really enjoy that they include a lot of, again, like the criminal underbelly. They have representation from a lot of different, of underground factions and the clans. You see, what's it called? The Hutts, the Ashiga, like, what I'm saying? A lot of cool different outlooks on the underworld, which is nice. You can interact with a different dimension of Star Wars that, you know, either people haven't seen as much or not to this level, which is cool. I love that. I'm invested. That's the reason that I do want to at least check in with it. If they get the stealth gameplay right, if they make the variety of level interaction very, very deep, I think we have something here that I can excuse maybe the less expansive gameplay of, like, you know, playing as a Jedi per se, or you know, somebody who might have a more expansive skill set than a KVS. But if they can nail that level of depth in interaction with the environment, again, like the stealth options, little things that are here and there that you can change, you know, create some different moments with it, different approaches to a level, I think that there's a game in here that can be worth it. And I think it can be a very enjoyable experience. I think the narrative heavy elements will benefit it. I agree with you on the fact that the interactions and the reputation system has to lead somewhere. It has to lead to some different outcomes, whether it be multiple endings or some different interactions or side missions that weren't available through, you know, interaction in one way or another. I want those branching paths. I want branching paths in this. If it's so story heavy and there's so many interactions with different factions and characters involved, I want that ability to branch off in a select path that really not everybody can get to. I would love that. I'm curious to see how the end game looks for this. I'm curious how the level of explorability outside of the, you know, saying the cities looks. If they're gonna make these areas densely packed, but you can travel by your speeder. You can travel by your ship. I'm wondering how those transitions kind of fit. We saw in the first gameplay reveal that you can, like, warp right into space and go right into a space battle. I'm curious to see how the flow of all of that is in between, you know, travel and going from place to place and getting to your destination. Very curious about that. One thing, again, Starfield got knocked points off of for, and again, I'm sorry to compare Starfield just because it's in space, but that level of immersion to get from one spot to another is very, very, you know, I guess important and prioritized for people who are looking in the sci-fi era and the, you know, the space genre. So they got a couple points to hit. But I'm not disinterested. I'm actually pretty interested in what this develops to be. I'm just a little bit cautious of how deep the game can actually go. Is it going to provide us with, you know, actual actionable ends through what we do? Does it provide us a lot of difference and you know, pretty distinct experiences through our choices, or is it just going to have us on the track and, you know, we do our little stealth sections, or we can just shoot it out and the same outcome is the same outcome? I'm wondering how deep the well goes for you know, those, again, that branching gameplay, how your decisions have a ripple effect. But we'll see in time. It looks interesting though. It looks interesting, and I'm not turned away from it. I'm actually still pretty locked in with it. It drops August 30th, which might be a little bit of a problem because a little game called you know what I'm saying, Black Myth Wukong drops in near the same time as it. So might be a little bit of friction, brother. Might be a little bit of friction. But we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, everything I've been seeing so far is it's solid. It's solid. It's encouraging signs from Star Wars Outlaws. I just need to keep seeing more of what we can do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting game, and like you said, the depth at which things matter is really what's going to be either its downfall or what makes this game amazing. Because one thing will be like, yo, doing this for this syndicate will make the other syndicate pretty upset, but being like, hey, doing this for this mission specifically has changed the way this mission will now work, and will also change the way this relationship works now too. Like, there's a lot that they can do if they really want to, like, focus more on the storytelling and the relationship building. If that's the case, then I won't really worry about, like, regular third-person shooter action. But if I'm doing regular third-person shooter action, then it's regular fucking combat, story beats, and like not real big. Just like, hey, I'm just not a fan of you right now. Like, I'm not really gonna be interested. Like, I was playing. And not to compare it, because I'm not comparing these games, but, like, for example, I was playing Dragon's Dogma 2. I fucked up a mission, so I had to wait 3 days to go back to be able to do the mission. And I'm over here exploring different things. Like, now I can't just go back and just restart the shit and just, like, redo. Like, this had some real impact on what I did. So now my whole game plan has changed. Like, that's the kind of level of, like, I want minimum that. I want minimum. You did this mission, this entire sector now does not like you. Now when you go here, you have to sneak in. Now, like, I need big big reasons.
Facts. Things gotta matter. Things have to matter if you're putting this much emphasis on story. So I just want, yeah, there's that level of a butterfly effect. If you do one thing, this is how everybody looks at it from their perspective on your actions. So we want that and a Star Wars frame sounds very fucking interesting, and that's something I would love to get into. So, you know, it could be another really big step for a Star Wars game. So we'll see though. All right, let's keep it pushing and talk about Destiny 2, the final shape. It seems like we have again the new gameplay trailer. Looks like, you know, Destiny's finding a way to send us all off, you know, in the biggest, grandest way possible. When I know you were a Destiny man, a Destiny 2 man for a long time before you moved on for a little bit, but with Destiny 2, the final shape, how is it shaping up for you?
Not enough. Not gonna lie to you, Trip. Not enough. It looks cool, but I feel like it's too late. The last expansion added an entire new subclass. This looks like a subclass of all the combinations of your other subclasses. Here's me hoping that like they will let me freely allocate shit. Like they'll let me freely choose what I want to do with these powers, instead of it being like, hey, this is now a void and fire power. Like I'm not too tapped in because I don't have the money for Destiny anymore. I don't have $100 every time they drop some new shit. I've kind of accepted that I'm just gonna watch the cutscenes or watch somebody explain the story rather than actually playing this game, because I just can't afford to get back into Destiny at this point in time. And even if I could, I don't have the money for that, and I don't have the time for that shit either. So while this does look cool to an extent, the level of freedom I guess I would want from a Destiny expansion is something that I don't think they can really provide for me. Like I really want to play Destiny and be like, hey, I'm gonna make it my powers only fire and arc. But knowing Destiny, it doesn't seem like that will be the case. They'll give me like a little subsection. They'll decide what's gonna be the powers that I can use. And to some that's fun. To me, I'm kind of just over it at this point. Its final shape looks like it's gonna be a pretty cool expansion, but I'm not really blown away because all the stuff that I've seen were just like a mixture of powers put together, and it's just reusing shit. I don't really give a fuck about reusing assets. I guess it really depends on how the powers will play out and how it will actually feel as a person playing the game. But from like just this trailer, I'm not really impressed, because these are all like, oh, that's just a void power mixed with a strand power. Like I've already used both of those things, so I'm not really sitting here like, whoa. And I also know that it's Destiny, so I may not be able to use that ability as much as I would actually want to. Like I'll use it, then I gotta wait like a minute 30 for me to get that shit back. So I'm just like, nah. That being said, I'm interested to see where the game's story goes. And I'm interested to see if this will be the last. I don't think it's the last expansion. I think it's the beginning of the end is how they described it. But I will save my money on this time around. They did push this back a while back. And also just the way Destiny has just kind of been moving. It's been real slimy. It's been real kind of whack. Just the whole, oh, we wouldn't have to lay people off if you guys paid more money to us. Like, man, maybe your game didn't fucking suck. We would be buying it more. But hey, have fun with the final shape to my Destiny fans. I hope you guys are having, I genuinely do hope y'all enjoy it. I don't think I'll be tapping in.
Nah, fairs. And I do not give a single solitary fuck about Destiny. Have not since the Moon DLC. I will always say that. Again, it will become legend at this point. But yeah, I'm not there for it. It looks pretty cool though, combining like the light and dark powers. You know what I'm saying? The subclass combination. That's cool. But at this point,
like I don't. And again, I could just be wrong. And like, let me know in the comment section if there's something that I'm missing here, because I feel like I'm looking through the comments and a lot of people are saying like, yo, I think like there's gonna be an exotic that lets you take a part, like a class from somebody else, like something from somebody else's class and put it into your class. I really just need to see the full breakdown of it, but I just don't care enough to really do my own, like to look into this, because it's just, I know how expensive this shit is gonna be, and I know how Destiny likes to roll out their content, and it's just not enough for me. They'll give you like a million tasks to do for you to get like a couple grapes, and you eat the grapes and like, oh, that was fun. Now let me come back next week to do a bajillion other tasks. And it's like, I could own a house in something like Final Fantasy. Like I could fucking have a profession. Like there's so much extra content in other MMOs, and they cost significantly less than something like this shit. And I don't know. I've been burned by Destiny too many times now for me to really want to dive back in.
Yeah, understandable, man. Understandable. The content can look great, but also the strategy of delivering that content can shoot shit in the foot. And I think that's been the hallmark of what Destiny 2's been for a long time, which is sad, but that's just the reality of it. So, it is what it is. But I hope people who do tap in do have fun with it. But you know me, I ain't on that bullshit. So we'll get rid of it. We're out of here. So let's push on and let's talk about Dead Space. Dead Space, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's been in the eye of a lot of controversy over this past week and change for a lot of different reasons. Namely, there's been a lot of conflicting reports about Dead Space 2 Remake. So apparently there was an initial report that came out from a lot of different people that suggested that Dead Space 2 Remake was canceled over the fact that Dead Space 1 Remake didn't meet budgetary expectations, even though it sold 2 million copies. Then there was kind of a statement fired back from the EA team, from EA representatives, that said, hey, this is not true. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't make sense. It's not true. None of it is true. But there was a confusion on which part wasn't true. All of it, outright, or a specific part of them not even making a Dead Space 2 remake and them canceling it. Like, what exactly was it there? But then there was a Jason Schreier report that put some context onto this as much as possible. So for now that we know from Jason Schreier's details in a Bloomberg report, Dead Space as an IP right now is dead. The motive team behind Dead Space, they actually wanted to try a brand new game in the Dead Space universe rather than remake Dead Space 2, and none of that was greenlit. They tried to move different things around, concept it, but nothing was greenlit for them. And it's just kind of been set, and they've been pushed on to other teams. I think they're now working in conjunction with other teams for the Iron Man, Black Panther games that are coming from EA's side. But for now, Dead Space 2 apparently is it's dead in the dirt. What do you think about all this?
Dead Space 2 is probably my favorite Dead Space. I think it's everybody's favorite Dead Space. Like, it was seen as like the best one. It's kind of sad because I played Dead Space 1. I really enjoyed it. It's sad to see that it didn't hit the stride that they wanted to, but I do think it's a light in the end of the tunnel with them wanting to do something in the Dead Space universe. I think that might be honestly the better choice for them, just because like that might be what people want. They don't necessarily like the remake was great, but if you already played these games or know what happens, to me, like I can see why people are like, I'm not going to spend $60-$70 on that when I can just play the old one, or I know what happens. I'd rather just like save my money. So them wanting to move forward in a different direction isn't a bad thing. It sucks for the people who wanted to see Dead Space 2, because I think it would have been really, really, really good. But I don't think it's like crazy unheard of that the game didn't make as much money as they thought it would. And nostalgia's strong, but it's only so strong, to get me to buy another $70 like game for something that I know what happens, it's kind of tough. It was the whole canceling thing, I thought was kind of just like whatever. It being canceled, like the IP being dead, is like sad to see, but light at the end of the tunnel. I just hope that the company that made the Dead Space remake, because it was, again, I think it was done really well.
Facts.
It keeps pushing and keeps getting work, because they did a really, really good job with the game, even if it didn't hit the numbers they thought it did. But I honestly don't know what numbers they thought it was really going to do, because like I kind of see something as dead. Like I can't even say, like, the only games that I could really compare Dead Space to that like I think would have like did numbers is like maybe like a Lost Planet is the only thing I could compare. But even if they were like, yo, we're remaking Lost Planet, even I wouldn't buy it day one.
Resident Evil was the only comparable thing in this genre.
But no, you can't even compare it to that. You want to know why?
Why?
Because Resident Evil has a fucking long ass. Because I was gonna compare it to Doom, but here's the thing: these have really long histories. Resident Evil has a really, really long history compared to
comparatively, yes, you're right.
Dead Space,
an extra decade on it.
That's what's tough. It's like I wanted to compare it to Doom 2016, but Doom did a really good job of changing the basically the whole game, like restarting it from the ground up. This is a new title. Is almost everything is brand new compared to, like, you're not gonna go back from like a regular Doom 64, like a regular Doom. Like, this is all new. So it's really hard for me to compare to anything other than something like if Lost Planet did a remake, or like you need like something with that short of a lifespan. And it just, I think they thought the nostalgia was strong, but it's not Resident Evil 4 levels of strong. These aren't decade-old games. This is something that was made. These aren't like 20-year-old game. It's like maybe 10-year-old game that people
Yeah.
were like, yo, I really like Dead Space. And a lot of people who love Dead Space love 2. That's
Yeah.
another thing too. A lot of people loved 2. So like Dead Space was like, hey, if you would have been like, this is the beginning and we're doing 2, maybe. But even then, like a lot of people like myself are like, it's a remake of something I know. I'm just gonna wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah, it was about, I mean, Dead Space 1 was 2008, so it was like, you know, like 12 years, maybe 12, 13 years since the first one. And this is, it does suck in a way.
Yeah.
I will say this. On one side, again, Dead Space, this remake was very well done. And this, again, when we talk about remakes and trying to rehash what came before, synthesizing them and optimizing them to be as good as possible in the new era of trying to bring something new, providing something novel in some of the sameness of before, keeping that core but still giving it the just due to feel fresh today. That's so important in all these types of remakes and remasters and all that crap. And Dead Space was one of the best versions of that we've gotten in gaming overall, in my opinion. So it's sad to see a game that really achieved that high bar in terms of quality of remake not meet the expectations, even though it sold 2 million copies plus. 2 million copies plus is still a lot of good money, but to them, I feel like everybody aims for the apex. Everybody aims not Apex Legends, but literally the apex of sales for whatever. So in my head, I feel like they're trying to look to like, oh, we got to get Resident Evil numbers, when the IP is not as well known and not as strong and might not sell as well as, you know, as a Dead Space. So they were kind of already fighting under the gun with the high expectation and the high bar set by a lot of the suits and executives at these companies who want these remakes to do egregiously well, when, you know, it might not be the case for them. And that sucks. But not even nostalgia of bringing a remake back can save an IP. That's when you know shit is kind of cooked. You know what I mean? As I said this before on Twitter, at a AAA level, I feel like stuff is cooked on many different fronts, because you take a game that you remake when everybody's doing remakes and you know it's surefire way to make money, and you still close it down because it didn't make as money as you wanted to, but it still sold 2 million plus units. I feel like there's something wrong with the system. I feel like there's something wrong with the powers that be making these things happen and putting these things in motion and then closing them down right after anyways. It's just... to me, it's just a symptom of the system and what's going on. When the methods that you use to cash cow it and get as much revenue out of gaming as possible, when those are not even enough for you anymore, that's when I think there's a big problem. So that's kind of like one of the takeaways that I got from, you know, just this news. And the fact that they, you know, from what the reports say, they weren't even considering making a second one. They were they were trying to pitch it and stuff like that, but the suits were like, I'm not greenlighting any of this. We don't, like, I'm not seeing any of this stuff like going through right now, which sucks. That really sucks. That stifles what potentially greatness we can get out of certain games and certain things. Of course, I absolutely want to see new stuff, but if the remake is done well, if certain things have enough time passed and they do well, I would love to see them remade in a new capacity. And it just sucks that one of the best examples that we had of that, you know, of that whole concept of a good remake has just been snuffed out like that. They're moved on to, you know, again, just the Marvel licensed games, which I feel like is going to also be another hallmark of these, you know, of these big AAA studios. We're just going to keep getting these licensed games from IPs that we know, which is, again, cool. We're going to get more Indiana Jones. We're going to get more, again, like the Star Wars Outlaws, like we saw. We're going to get those licensed games, again, the Iron Mans, the Marvel 1943s, those stuff that we know from existing stuff, which is, it's cool, it's fun, but it's even wild that I have to defend nostalgia. I have to defend nostalgia in this case. You know how much I don't want to defend nostalgia right now? Yeah. But at the expense of things that are made well, it's a little bit of a problem for me. It is. But, you know, hopefully, again, this team does have work. They do have work. They're on other projects, so good stuff to them. Good luck to them. I hope they nail the stuff that they're doing. But it's just sad that we won't get you know, another Dead Space anything for a while. It's not just a remake, a Dead Space anything. And I don't think that's too hot when I think the IP had a lot more to give at this point in time. So, you know, hopefully we will see it back in some capacity down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the most dead game in the world, guys. The game that's so dead that people are still talking about it and are planning to go back to it, because Palworld is introducing a PvP arena in summer 2024. It was announced this week. When we got PvP arena, shootouts, pal fights, all that good stuff. Grapple guns is going crazy. What do you think?
I think it's gonna be really, really, really fucking dope. Happy that this dead game of what's been like 3 months is finally getting some love, you know, because it's definitely just has not seen the numbers that it should have been seeing. I'm just surprised that it didn't have 2 million people playing it for 4 months straight. It's definitely a game that suffered greatly. No, but in all seriousness, this looks really fun. It looks like a really cool way of like incentivizing more play in the game in and of itself, because once you get like a good PvP loadout, you're kind of just like, oh man, what do I need to go catch this pal, outside of just like for the purpose of catching them. Like, what am I going to go catch them for? And it's like, oh well, now I need like different setups. And if you're playing with your friends, like we have some friends of ours that are competitive Pokemon players, like I'm sure they're going to dive into this and be like, oh, actually I have this pretty sick build, and we can like test it out and like play against each other. I'm really excited to see what they have cooking it up. I think that's a really dope little addition. It'll give the game a little bit more life, because obviously there's just not enough to do in that game. And I think it's gonna be pretty dope. I'm excited to maybe get my well, actually not maybe, I actually own the game, so I'm happy to get my hands on it. What I was gonna say, like, man, I hope I don't have to, but it's gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be free, which is great. Palworld, honestly, just a really refreshing take on a survival genre. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really, really fun to see all the different builds, or people even having like tournaments of like, yo, who can win, like what's going on, are we doing only melee for the characters, or like can I go in there with the M16? Like, it's gonna be a really interesting take. And I also want to see what's gonna be like to have 3 pals of yours running around, and like how the abilities are gonna interact with each other, or if they can use their special abilities, how that's gonna work. It's gonna be pretty dope.
Give me fades with pals. This is it. We've made it. This is the mountaintop. I don't understand. Gaming's done. We don't have to do any more, guys. I think we can wrap it up here. I'm good with this. Like live shootouts with pals on the back. That this just looks fun. This just looks super fun. I'm definitely going to get back into Palworld when this drops. We still got to get that multiplayer server rolling, but honestly, yeah, once I get the single players in my backlog is a little bit lighter, we can rock with that. But this is something that looks really fun. Again, Palworld it's always been at the bedrock of it throughout the controversy and all that stuff. It's a fun fucking game. That's why people still like it. That's why it's never going to be, again, a dead game in its first 3 months. You know what I mean? This is just a fun game. And doing stuff like this, continually having these updates in the tuck, is really smart. It's really good. It's really smart. I think doing this update first is very, very incredibly smart by them. You increase your player base with a mode I think would be heavily requested or heavily desired, even though people might not have like thought about it at first. Again, brings up the PvP aspect. It's a different parallel. It's an additional experience that isn't exactly the Palworld that we already know, with just the survival PvE elements. It brings something different. It brings something that's going to keep people, you know, in tune and attracted to the game, and it gives you a lot of time, a lot of buffer time to create more content down the line and introduce that stuff on your rollout. So I think this is the smartest strategy, the smartest play that they could have done in terms of their first big content, you know, update outside of the new pals that they added. This was a really smart move. This is very, very smart. I think that they've outdone themselves. I think they bought themselves a lot of time, and they're gonna garner a lot of playtime over the summer, where people don't drop games. Just drop games in the summer. Sorry, that's another conversation. But they picked the right time for this. They picked the right time. They picked the right spot. I think this is gonna be a home run for them in many different ways.
Yeah, same. I think it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to jump in and get washed and waxed, because I picked my mons off of aesthetics and not any other reason.
Sheep, come on.
Like, god damn it, bro.
Oh man, that's crazy. But let's talk about the last regular story we have. A brand new co-op game entitled Jump Ship. Now, this is a really, really interesting game. It's like a co-op space fighting game. A lot of different missions a lot of different mission structures. You're building a ship, you're upgrading a ship. You can do a variety of different missions, whether it be stealth taking down relays in a stealth manner, on the ground missions, in space missions, combination missions where you're on your ship but also fighting people as you go through an area, repairs, customization, a whole bunch of stuff that's in there. This looks really, really, really cool. When how do you feel about Jump Ship?
Jump Ship looks really dope. I was actually gonna bring this up to y'all. I was like, yo, like this shit looks dope. But then I was like, damn, I have too many games to play. I'll circle back to this later. But it looks like a lot of fun, and the fact that it's co-op and you can play it single player, like it just looks like a fun Destiny. It looks like Destiny with like more like things to do. Like you can fly your ship, you could just be in space. It looks really, really dope. Something that I'm definitely keeping my eyes on. But man, I love things like this. A co-op experience, you can definitely play it on your own. I'm excited.
Dog, I'm super up for this one. I'm super up for this one, man. Dog, I'm going to talk about this at length very, very soon. But co-op is so back. We're so back.
Yeah.
We're so back. It's been steadily growing for the past couple of years, but we're so back.
No, it looks like a really fun game, and I'm really just happy to have co-op experiences. But I also like for example, like yesterday, I played Helldivers for I want to say like 2 hours straight. It was a whole lot of fun, and I love Helldivers to death, but I can't play it on my own. It's really boring if you solo missions. As somebody who does it all the time, it's not fun. But having something that you can do both, like when it's balanced for both, it's like chef's kiss. Because there are times when you can't, especially if you're somebody with like jobs or in different time zones, it's really difficult to link up and be like, hey, let's play Helldivers on Friday, and then something happens, life happens, you're like, well, I guess we gotta wait till a whole nother week because that's the only time we can all meet up at the same time. So it's difficult, but I really love that they're making an experience that you can have both. Like that's just my biggest takeaway. But I also think that co-op games that are solely designed for co-op in themselves, really, really great experiences. Like Helldivers would not be Helldivers without that.
I agree.
And Jump Ship just looks like a really good mixture of both. I'm excited to tap into it and see what lies. Like I just want to see how fun it can be from both angles, right? Is it going to be that kind of game that I can really enjoy on my own, or will I have to have players? But like seeing like walking in first person, flying in space, and flying in space just in a jetpack and in a ship, like I just can't see this not being fun.
Bro, facts. And it looks like there's so many ways you can approach it too. Like somebody has to fly the ship, somebody has to be on the Overwatch crew and getting out in the field and stuff like that. I feel like I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this at depth, but I think outside of pure multiplayer servers and stuff, co-op creates the best moments in gaming, in my opinion. I think co-op creates the best moments for gamers in gaming, period. I'm gonna stand on that. It might be a controversial take, it might not be, I don't know, but the ability to, again, move so much, in terms of people just create things out of the template you give them, of course, but it's the easiest to do it in co-op games, in my opinion. And I feel like this game gears you up for a lot of that. Again, like the open classes where like you can choose your different roles, the different mission structures. And one thing I will say about Helldivers and co-op in general, those experiences that sometimes are geared for co-op and really encourage you to have friends, I feel like it's easier for them to have content rollouts because people aren't rolling through content as fast. You know what I'm saying? Some people may like blaze through everything as much as possible, which is fair, but I feel like there's enough buffer between the things you can do in Helldivers or a general co-op game to that scale, and until the next rollout, that there's so much time where like, oh, I might be stuck doing this mission or that mission. You can't run through the entire game until the next thing comes out. They have so much wiggle room to drop more content out, and a lot of co-op games do this where you're not gonna get tired. I don't think you get bored in a certain sense unless you're really grinding through it with your friends, like you have no lives, or you just go through it yourself and you kind of just find yourself a little bit isolated in a sense, which is fair. Either way you want to approach the game is fair, but I just feel like co-op games provide so much of a more enriching loop than other game types, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think this is gonna be pretty dope. I like one game that we actually have to try, which is like Deep Rock Galactic, another really good co-op game.
We gotta try. Yo, deadass. Yeah. No, seriously, I actually need to write that down. I'm actually gonna write that down.
But like, I could see this easily falling in line with a game similar to that. But having that, like, I cannot express enough to me how much it means having that, being able to play it single player. Because sometimes I'll be waking up
fair.
at like 6 a.m. and I'm like, I know nobody's up right now, but like I would love to grind some samples on Helldivers. But like that's just like a schedule thing.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited to see this game.
100%. And I got through a whole space segment without slandering Star Citizen. I think I deserve a medal. It was on my mind from minute one. I was ready to let it fly, brother. But it's okay. It's all right. We can move on here and start talking about the trailer trove, talking about some things with some more watchable media, all the TVs, movies, and all that good stuff. Let's start. Let's get the damn veggies out the way, bro. I cannot believe this is an actual story. This was an actual story that came up over the past week. Paramount want to basically have a Danny Phantom movie. I think they're looking into a live action Danny Phantom film, and they were looking at none other than Tom Holland to be cast as Danny Phantom for the film itself. When, you sick bastard, what news or comments do you have to say on this?
I say that if you're listening to this podcast right now, if you're going to the lottery, play the numbers 3, 4, 7, 8.
Oh my god.
As you see, I envision this. I see this. The Tom Holland brand is strong, and I'm happy to see him taking on roles that truly fit him. I don't think I could I can't imagine anybody else filling the shoes of Danny Phantom like Tom Holland can. We all know that we're gonna get a goth Zendaya as oh my gosh, the I cannot remember her name, but you know, I'm just saying, hey, you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Nah, I think this is funny. This is like, it's a Tom Holland role though. Like who else? Like he's even got like the facial structure for it. Like Timothée Chalamet could never. But like if we see Timothée Chalamet in this movie, I wouldn't be upset at it either. I think it'd be a pretty sick. I don't know why we haven't had these two in a film yet. But anyways, a Danny Phantom movie would be dope. I actually really enjoy like the world behind it. I heard the comic books are bananas. I heard they did a really good job with the IP. Yeah, no, I heard really good things. Cause I went into like a deep dive. They're like, yo, the dude who made Danny Phantom, the same dude who made Fairly Odd Parents, they're like, yeah, this motherfucker. Yeah, they were like, oh, he sucks. And I was like, oh, really? Why does he suck? You know, one of those like deep fucking dives on TikTok where people like just cook somebody for 45 minutes, and you're like, damn, I didn't know any about this information. But like, supposedly the Danny Phantom has a really good comic line that talks about the world and like all this stuff, because it's a really interesting concept. It's such a really interesting concept. I would love to see this on the big screen in a way that isn't whack is the best way to describe it. I want to see it in a good space. I want to see them actually make this a good sci-fi movie. It doesn't have to be super, like, I'm not expecting it to be like Alien, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't need to be crazy, gritty, dark type of thing, but I don't want it to be a straight to TV type of movie either with like the whack CGI. Like, I actually want them to actually try with this, because it could really go far for like young audiences and like older adults. Like, I think it could be a really cool experience, but time will tell. I think Tom Holland, hey, I couldn't have casted it better myself personally.
I hate you. Tom Holland, I want to talk to you. Fuck out of here, man. But unfortunately, that is actually a fair comparison. I'm not mad if Tom Holland actually goes into this one. I'm just hating. But this is one of the few ones where it's like, you know, you could squeak by. You could squeak by for me. But yeah, there's a lot of real estate for this franchise. There's a lot of real estate for this IP to get into. I think this would be a really solid project if done right. Really, when you think about it, you can't half-ass it. You can't half-ass it, and you don't give us too much. Don't give us too much of everything to where there's not much room to go left. Of course, you already know what studios are gonna do. They're gonna try and set up stuff for the, you know what I'm saying, the universe, as it were. Motherfuckers set up for a Nicktoons Unite freaking Avengers film. There's gonna be some stupid shit like that. So you'll see like Vlad at the end and all this stuff like that, and a portal to the Timmy Power Hour and shit. But seriously, I think there's actually a lot of good stuff. There's a cool, again, really cool concept. I think it's as fairly adaptable if the CGI and the effects are done correctly. I think this can be very easily adaptable to the big screen. Give us simple enemies, you know what I'm saying? Give us the box ghost for that comedic relief. I need the box ghost. Beware. I need that immediately just for that comedic relief. But as a main enemy, give us two. Give us like give us Ember, and give us Skulker or the warden guy from the Ghost Zone. Give us those two, and we should be straight as antagonists. You know what I'm saying? Him figure out his powers, deal with those two at the end of the movie. That'll be a solid thing. Yeah, honestly, I'm not opposed to this. I am not opposed to this whatsoever. Danny Phantom is, I think, overall is underrated. Is an underrated series, in my opinion. I feel like does not get as much love as it should have. You know what I'm saying? People just got into the goth phase from there, which I believe should garner some more respect just off of GP from that in and of itself. But that's beside the point. Danny Phantom can be a good series, and I don't know if I trust Paramount fully, but they definitely have the tools in front of them to get it done.
Yeah, I think I think they do, but it really just depends on how much interference comes with it as well.
100%. But let's talk about the next story here. Let's get into Joker 2. Folie à deux, I think it's how you pronounce it. If I don't, that's my fault to the French speakers out there. I apologize for butchering that shit. Let's talk about Joker 2. Got a brand new trailer coming out October 4th. Just a very eclectic mix of just like, again, the insane asylum, then moves to a musical. You know what I'm saying? Then like the gritty ass streets of Gotham, La La Land. I'm confused. There's a lot of great captivating shots in the trailer. You see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Just so intriguing what they're gonna do with this, where they're gonna take this next. When your thoughts on Joker 2?
I have yet to watch Joker 1. I really do plan on, like, I genuinely do plan on. I just have never been like, I've never been sitting here like I want to watch one. I want to watch a movie where it's just Joker. I'm not that invested in the character. I liked him across from Batman. I think that's where Joker really shines. I love Joaquin Phoenix. He's an amazing actor, but I have Joaquin Phoenix movies that I'd rather watch first before I watch the Joker. Am I gonna watch the second one because it's a musical? I low key, that might be what actually makes me watch it. Like I know it's right. A lot of people hate it. I don't really care too much, so I'm gonna just because I gotta see where they went from like this to this, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
It might suck, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think they would let it, and I don't want to eat these words later, but to me personally, if they made that big of a drastic change, it's got to be for something.
Yeah.
And Lady Gaga, amazing, just an amazing artist in general. I think she actually acts pretty well. She's actually a pretty good actress.
Yeah, no, she's mad solid.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
And a great singer, like phenomenal artist, period. Joaquin Phoenix, amazing actor. Definitely would throw himself into already has thrown himself into this role, but also with singing, like giving that man another like challenge. He's like, you know, I'll fucking cook. I'll sing too. I don't give a fuck. Like I could see him going stupid. This is gonna be I think it might be pretty solid. I again haven't seen the first Joker. I've seen the memes. I've heard about it. Just really was never interested in it. Mostly because every time I see it, like it's either people misinterpret. I hear like a lot of people misinterpret it, or then a lot of people just don't get it. And like it's like that fucking that fucking back and forth between the two things. So I just never really cared. And again, well, I don't know if Batman's in it. He might be. I haven't seen it, but I just was never interested in just a Joker movie.
Yeah. Not
so,
in it, but
yeah, like if it was something like the Red Hood, where like Joker became the Joker but became a good guy, like in Batman Brave and the Bold, where like that motherfucker was like an actual hero, like I'd be more interested. But I was never like, I want a dark, gritty Joker film. Like I want to like that's. There's like comic book heroes, and then you could have just did this as like a regular movie about a weird dude. So again, we'll see. I do plan on watching both of these. When that will happen, I don't know, but I don't think it being a musical really is that big of a deal to me personally.
Yeah, and I feel like the way the musical aspect fits from the trailer is like him and Harley are hopping in and out of like sequences of delusion in some ways. At least that's how it looks to me. Like, you know, there's one point where like they're walking through a prison, which may be Blackgate. I think it's Arkham actually from the looks of it. Like it goes from like your regular umbrellas, like all of them are like colored and stuff, like a friggin' music video from the 70s and shit. And then it kind of pops back into these things here. And there. So I think the musical part kind of fits with the emotional state of Harley and Joker in this film, or what it might look like. That's my guess. I feel like it wouldn't be as bad as what people say. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all niggas. I fuck with musicals. If they hit shit right, I'm fucking with musicals.
Good, you know what I'm saying? We got some good music in there.
Yeah, facts, bruh. I about to say, you simpletons is loving High School Musical from all y'all youth days, and don't come up and turn your nose up at me, because I'm interested in this shit. Don't look at me like that. Don't do that. But just to say, I think how the concept of the music will play and how it plays in, I think that's gonna be like just a key story piece instead of just it being a musical just to be there. And I think we're in for a good movie. I think we're in for a really good movie. Joker 1 was very, very, very good. I was not expecting to be that captivated by that performance. With, again, no Batman, no crazy effects or over the top stuff there, or no like gritty feel, no Batman, just to focus on him. Very captivated by that, and I feel like this is going to extend it a little bit further. I'm just wondering again how this story and this rise of the clown prince of crime, so to speak, in this context, where does it fit? What does it progress to at the end of this film? So I'm curious to see where they take it. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty solid. And for all the people who don't like musicals, for all the people who are like, no, this movie gets me. Damn, son, you're pretty sick.
You might need to get you know what I'm saying, apprehended, brother. We're gonna send a car out for you.
Don't know what to tell you.
We're gonna take it to the last story of the trailer trove here. Let's talk about a quick story we saw of basically WB. They said, hey, you know what we need? We need a whole new project about the first Black Samurai. Yes, they are apparently planning to do a feature project on Yasuke, the first Black Samurai. When talk to me about this. And before I hand off the mic, though, I will say that the person who again did the Color Purple remake in 2023, he's gonna be directing it. So what's it called? Blitz Bazawule. About to say that's who's gonna be a part of it. He's done a couple of other projects. I think he did the Beyonce thing, Black is King, if I'm not mistaken. The Beyonce movie, the film thing, Black is King. A couple other projects in there. But when your thoughts?
I think with a good action coordinator, with some good action choreography, we could be in the money with this one. It's WB though. We could never see this movie ever a day in our lives. They could easily shelve this, put it right next to Wile E. Coyote versus Acme, and be like, "Yo, couldn't put it out. Let me write these off on our taxes." You know what I'm saying? It's one of the two. I think with good action choreography, it could be great. I watched the recent Color Purple. I'd never seen the original one. My girlfriend loves musicals, so she was like, "Oh, let's go watch this." Quite depressing. Yeah. Phenomenal film. Phenomenal. She was like, "I had no idea we were walking into this," and I was like,
"I'm sorry, Seely. I'm sorry."
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa!" And she was like, "I just heard it was a musical," and I'm like, "There was music. They were singing." But honestly, I think it's like, again, I just don't want this IP to fucking be bastardized. Like, I mean, like they did the anime, and we all know how that was received.
No, geez,
I want this to be treated, and I think that the director is going to treat it with respect. I think it's going to be treated like better than it was with Netflix. I just don't want it to be something that we keep bringing out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want like things to become like, hey, we need a cool samurai movie, or like, oh, let's just keep bringing out Yasuke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want this to be the end all be all for this kind of a story. Like, you can have, if fucking Tom Cruise can be the last samurai, or Keanu Reeves, one of them. I think they were both samurais at one point. If they could be samurais, black people can also be samurais. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely a samurai. Tom Cruise ass was definitely a samurai, bro. And there's at least historical backing behind this shit. Like, damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they could do it, then we don't always have to rely on this one story. But also, I think that it is a really good, interesting story, and I would love to see it done well. I think it really just comes down to the action choreography.
I agree. Chad Stahelski, Mr. John Wick director, we need you. Knock knock. Yeah. Like, that's the number one person I'm looking to bring in. Like, get your ass over here. We need some real action locked in, and you're the guy to do it, brother. You need to show up, be present here. And yeah, I think we should be good outside of that. But I'm cool with a Yasuke film. I'm very much fine with that. Just they just got to do it right. They just got to do it right and find the right lead. I don't know who could be a good lead for this. Somebody did a good suggestion though. Do you know Aldous Hodge, the dude who was Hawkman in the Black Adam.
Aldous Hodge.
And he was
yes.
in Leverage for like a long time, which I don't know if people ever watch Leverage, but that was actually a pretty cool show. But yes, him. I think he would be a good lead for that. I think personally he would.
I
be
think
a
so
good lead.
too.
I
think he really. He would be. Really good.
Physically, he has the build. He has the acting chops to do it. I think he would be good for that role. I don't see anybody else's first place beyond him. Some people did say, what's it called? My man Lakeith Stanfield. That could be
Maybe.
a shout.
I don't think it would be a bad one. I don't think it would be a bad call.
I don't think that would be a bad shout either. I think he has acting chops. He does have acting chops. So it's fair, but I think Aldous Hodge is my number one for a lead for this film.
Yeah, you know who would have been? No, I don't think he would have been. I think he would have been good in the movie, but I don't think he would have been good.
Tom Holland would not have been good in this movie.
No, but relax. First off, it would be more of a Timothée Chalamet film to begin with.
God.
But anyways, I was like, damn. I really wish Jonathan Majors did not go through all that bullshit, because not as Yasuke, but he could have been crazy as like a supporting. Yeah, he would have been like, come on, bro. Man. You really hate to see it. You really hate to see it.
Potential is fucking finished, bro. That sucks. That sucks.
You're not a big fan of the Anthony Mackie in this role?
What's up, motherfuckers? I'm Yasuke.
Like, he's just like, they challenge him to a duel. He does that smile.
The little smirk.
The little smirk.
Bro, I'm not. No, after he dealt with Tupac, I can't do it. I can't.
Oh my god, the dude from Black Dynamite, the actor, Michael J. White. Yeah. I need him in this film in some capacity.
He needs to be in
some capacity.
At the barest minimum, stunt coordinator. At barest minimum,
bro. I need him involved in some capacity, because I feel like he would fucking, even like as a master or as a swordsmith or something, bro. Something. Yeah. Like a mentor type figure. I don't know. I need him involved.
Very, very much agree. But we're gonna see about this Yasuke project, man. We'll see. Yeah. With that being said, though, that's pretty much all the notes I had on the show today. Anything that we might have missed?
Nothing really. We got a new update for Helldivers. They keep giving us content.
Big
nowhere near done it. They also added more ship to your ships to upgrade, so go stupid. It's gonna be they're cooking. Work. They're cooking.
Big work. All I gotta say is there's apparently a remake coming for Scary Movie. Let's stop doing this. Shout out to my personal channel. There's a video there. Go see it. It says I'm tired of nostalgia. Let's stop doing this. Stop doing this, people. Let's not do it. So yeah, there's that. I don't think there's any other news outside of what we've done. Shout out to Cody Rhodes, man, finishing the story.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
Shout out to WrestleMania, all that shit.
Shout out to Roman Reigns too, bro, because you can't. One of the greatest. One of the greatest. Absolutely. I wish he would have got past Hulk Hogan, but absolutely phenomenal run.
More main events in WrestleMania than Hulk Hogan. I'll take that. I'll take that all day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's the motherfucker's doing all that with leukemia. Like, that's fucking bananas. Like, nobody will have a more. I don't think his run will be topped for years to come. Like, if his run is topped in the next 10 years, I really would be mad. Like, I'd be surprised. And phenomenal. But Cody Rhodes finishing the story, we love to see it. I need to see the picture of the motherfucking belt right next to the tombstone. I need to see it, man. I need to see that picture. That shit is amazing.
Oh man, good stuff, man. Just a wonderful weekend. A lot of news that came through. By the time you'll see me next week, I will have watched most of that Fallout TV show. I'm hearing very good things from the Fallout TV show.
Yeah,
I will be watching. I've had hopes for that. I've had expectations for it, and it seems like it's delivering. I cannot wait to watch it. And if it's good, I am fully ready to sing its praises to the mountaintop and become a Fallout TV show shill. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. All right, though. Let's get up out of here, man. Wayne, give me your closing statements for this episode of No Cooldown.
Free democracy. Play your favorite survival games and tap into some of those sick ass indie games coming out. We got some heat coming. Don't wait for AAA, bro. Toll the shit yourself. Do not wait for AAA. Put the fucking indies in your car and drive off.
Type shit. Put it in the car and drive, bro. Put it in the car and drive. my closing statement is play your games, bro. Play your games. Have fun. Don't be too serious, because sometimes life doesn't need to be that serious, guys. Okay, just chill out. Yeah, and make sure you support us on all channels. Again, No Cooldown Podcast or No Cooldown Pod, at No Cooldown on YouTube. We just hit 500 subscribers. I don't know if I said that beforehand, but we did hit 500 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has subbed, supported, checked out all the videos and stuff. We're not stopping there. We have got some cool stuff in the way. It's coming down the pike in this month and beyond. We've got some cool stuff that you don't want to miss. Some really dope stuff that we're doing and getting into. I'm excited about where No Cooldown is heading, but I cannot thank you all. We cannot thank you all for the support that y'all giving. On the way to 1K, then on the way to 100K, then on the way to 1 million, then on the way until somebody owes us money in some way or capacity. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but we're gonna figure it out in the way. All right, that's just my vision. All right, that's just my vision for the future. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. For episode 91, No Cooldown, we are shing. I tried to be a Yasuke. I tried to do it. Anyways, we're out of here. Let's get out of here, man. Peace.